What's going on, everybody? And welcome. Holy shit. The screen transition shit we need to get better on. Welcome, everybody. My name is Tom Lower. This is going to be the Pantsless Podcast, episode number 1. I'm nervous as fuck. With me today, we have the greatest of them peoples. Introduce yourself, everybody.
I'll go first. My name is Nord. Part of the No Pants. I don't know. I stream variety. I'm probably gonna stream Portal 2 in the future and Portal 1. So look forward to that.
Yeah, Tom, why don't you introduce yourself first?
Oh shit. Well, hi. My name is Tomalo. I stream whatever I want to stream whenever I want to stream. And creator and leader of No Pants Society. That's me.
My name is Trevor the Miracle. I'm I think I'm the newest member of No Pants Society, and I basically stream whatever I want to stream. You know, indie games, action games, whatever, horror games. That's about it.
I'm a Gratigi. I'm pretty much the greatest guy ever, and I stream way too much Final Fantasy because apparently that's the only thing I'm good at.
I need to apologize. I noticed that I had the wrong topic there for a moment, but this is what I expect from this is what I expect from the first podcast. So quickly to chat. This is a podcast, so we're gonna do things differently this time around from what I normally do, which is we're not gonna verbally interact with chat, but I at least will be reading chat, and from time to time, if there's something that we want to pick from chat up, we'll pick it up and discuss it. But otherwise, I don't have alerts enabled on the stream, and I'm not gonna have them enabled. I'm sorry for all the new potential follows, subs, and whatnot. I will see them in my logs, so I will thank everybody probably at the end of the stream. But yeah, that's all the non-fun stuff. We're gonna have a show. We're gonna talk about the Game Awards. We're gonna talk about the biggest news stories gaming-wise this year, and we're gonna talk about our picks, our favorite games from this year, and also what we hope to see next year. But before we do that, did you guys see the clip of that one guy who decided that it's a good idea to stream Anthem and break
I did see that.
the NDAs?
I did not see that.
I didn't see that either.
Yeah, they got on him really fast. Like,
hey, yes,
Really?
yes. He was in the title screen when EA pushed the big red button at their HQ somewhere, and completely deleted his Origin library.
Yeah, his entire library.
What? That's absurd! Holy crap!
So I guess the lesson here, kids, is for everybody listening and stuff: don't break your NDAs. They're serious business. And yeah, and I mean, don't do it. In some cases, you might even go to jail. But so, don't do it.
That is a one-strike offense. That is brutal.
Do they know how they even have it? Like, do they know how they got on him so fast? Because it was like seconds.
You see, I don't know how long he was live. And
was he dumb enough to put the game he was streaming as Anthem?
Now, see,
Probably.
I watched the clip, and the game category was not Anthem, but he was a smart enough person, and I use smart in a sarcastic way here, to put the title of the stream as Anthem closed beta. So let's have a golf clap for this fallen hero who broke the NDAs.
That's the funniest thing I've heard all day. That's crazy.
It's crazy that they deleted his entire like I can understand maybe deleting that game and maybe banning him from Twitch or something. But they just deleted all his games.
Yeah. I feel like that's probably a little overkill. I feel like probably what should have, especially since he only, now granted, I guess it's only because they caught him. He only made it to the title screen, so it's not like he showed anything, but maybe just like stopped him from getting in any future betas. I mean, there's no telling how much money he had in his Origin account. They could have essentially taken away hundreds and hundreds of dollars just because he almost streamed a game.
Yeah, but it's still expected to EA to react the way they did.
Yeah.
See, to me, it's actually kind of scary that they have a big red button somewhere that completely erases your entire account.
Yeah.
In like an instant. And that fast, because like Trevor said, it was really goddamn fast. The dude he wasn't live for long. But I mean, the NDA that EA gives and every other game company gives out, they're pretty self-explanatory. They'll talk about the game. Don't record the game. Don't stream the game. I mean,
somebody snitched.
Maybe.
I mean, yeah. The clip that I viewed, when I viewed it, it had about 600,000 views on live stream files. I mean, it's a Twitch clip, so not every view is from live stream files. But yeah, he decided that he does not want to get free games in the future from EA or any other company for that matter.
Yeah, well, he succeeded.
Was he a big streamer? Like how many?
So when I viewed his channel, he had 24 followers. So like no followers.
Yeah. Well, I doubt it was someone that would have went to EA then with only that many. Because with 24 followers, and I don't mean to downplay 24 followers, but you had to have like one guy watching.
Yeah.
Maybe. Especially if you just like started the stream and got into Anthem, probably not even one guy. So it kind of boggles my mind that they were able to detect it that quickly through Twitch.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering myself. Is like, how did they know he was doing it? Like, did they somehow know through the actual game? What is it?
See, I believe
the launcher.
I believe they have people actively looking for streams.
Yeah.
In another way that we look.
Did you say earlier that the title was different, or did it say Anthem?
He didn't have any game category. No game category was displayed. But his title to the stream was Anthem Closed Beta.
Okay. Well, yeah, they might have just searched and just got lucky then.
Yeah. And on top of that, well, I guess if they probably just looked for whoever did with that same name, but like to not only find that stream that quickly, but then immediately associate it with an Origin account. Like they knew that's the part that's scary.
It's weird.
I didn't even think about that.
I mean, how many? I don't know. Probably not anyone in here because we're pretty specific names. But like, what are the odds that someone like XX Metal Demon 420 is streaming, but that's not his Origin name because XX Metal Demon taken, and they're like, oh, XX Metal Demon 420, yeah, go eat a dick, and then they just blow up some random kid's Origin account.
I don't know how they did it.
Usually betas have like a code at the bottom, shows the version, and probably it shows who has the game right now, who is playing right now. It has like some tag there, so they can identify the guy that.
Empire in chat said that there was a watermark across the bottom that is your account name. So they must do that specifically for catching streamers. That must be why they do that.
And I mean, people who are stupid enough to upload videos to YouTube. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I read somewhere about that like they did only have like certain people at certain times, so that way they can monitor a little bit closer too.
Yeah.
So they're not looking at just everybody at one time.
But it's kind of weird that he did no effort to like cover the stamp somehow. You can just make an overlay just right there, cover that thing.
Empire said it was all over the screen, so I don't know. I kind of want to watch the clip now. Not right now, obviously, but at some point I definitely would, because that's crazy that they found it and deleted his account all before he even got in the game. title screen.
See, in the clip, he never talks during the clip. He's in the title screen. Then everything just shuts down. Then he reopens Origin, and then he goes to like my library, and it's completely empty.
Yeah, I don't think they deleted his account. They just deleted his games.
Yeah, and I don't know if he even had any other games than Anthem. So they might have just deleted Anthem, and then he just doesn't have any other games. So it looks like they deleted the entire library. I don't know. But it was just something I wanted to bring up because I thought it's like it's obviously like stupid like a stupid person doing stupid stuff and winning stupid prizes.
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious to talk about that stuff.
But the funny thing is, it's probably not the first, and definitely not the last person to do it.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, I don't expect it.
There's definitely gonna be plenty more.
Chat says I'm a bit quieter than the rest. I upped my own volume. Hopefully it is enough. I did because other stuff that was happening. I had my volume way too high, so I was peaking. And I lowered my volume on the Windows, which makes me way quieter, and it's been a little hassle to fix it. Anyway, that's not here nor there. Let's move on. Let's move on to the next awesome thing. That was the Game Awards show of 2018. Now, who here, raise hands, who's upset that God of War won Game of the Year?
Oh gosh, no! I can't put my hand down low enough.
Yeah.
I was crossing my fingers the whole time.
I like that God of War won. So
yeah.
See,
I loved the picture from Supernatural where it says whenever God of War won Game of the Year, and it's like you've yeed your last haw. That's my favorite picture.
You're sitting a little defensively there, Tom.
No. Like, I mean, I don't care who wins Game of the Year. I mean, I never finished God of War. I will finish it someday, but I just didn't do it. I did, however, finish Red Dead. And after some time to wallow on Red Dead, I would not give Red Dead Game of the Year. I did say, like, pretty much immediately when I finished the game, I was like, this is the greatest game ever made. But I have since walked back on it a little bit.
Yeah, see, I beat God of War and then continued playing it more after I beat it. And Red Dead, I made it to like chapter 3, and then I got bored with it and stopped playing it. So I'm like the complete opposite of what you are.
I didn't play it more after I beat. Well, I did a little bit for one boss, and without any spoilers, Trevor, I'm sure you know what boss. It's a completion type boss.
I'm pretty sure I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, she's a pain in the butt. That's all I'll say. That's the only one that I went back. But the only reason I didn't play it more after I beat it, and I probably should since New Game Plus is out, is because I 100%ed it before I beat it. Like, I took my time and did everything I could except for that one boss before I beat the game. That's the only reason I didn't go back after.
So you see, I didn't 100% it, so, you know.
Yeah, that last boss is the only thing in the game that I have not done. I've done literally everything else in that game.
Huh?
Yeah.
North, you're being awful quiet. What do you think about Game
I'm just listening to you guys. I'm waiting for an opportunity to talk. I haven't played Red Dead 2, but I watched Son play it quite a lot. But I did play God of War at my friend's house, and I was super limited on time. So I had to kind of rush it through. But I made it through. It's definitely a good game. Probably still not the Game of the Year for me. But after I finished the game, it totally made me go want to play it again. Like, I know you can still unlock stuff, and there's basically post-game content you can do. And I totally wanted to do that, but it just wasn't possible at that point.
What would you say was the Game of the Year for you? What was, if you haven't played Red Dead 2?
We'll come to that later.
Okay.
But from the Game Awards, for especially streamers and YouTubers, what probably was most criticized, and again, it's a useless award, but whatever, is Content Creator of the Year, which featured 5 Fortnite streamers.
Yeah.
And
go ahead, I'm sorry.
I mean, it is, I think it's pretty, I don't
What
really
that
know.
says to me more than anything is that those guys aren't content creator of the year. Epic Games is. Because 90% of what they're streaming, the content that they're creating is just Fortnite. So Epic Games really won content creator of the year. Because and I'm sure that they I don't know. I don't watch Fortnite streamers, and I definitely don't watch their YouTube or anything. So I don't know if they do any other kind of content, but I imagine probably not. So I mean, I feel like it's really, really low effort type stuff, considering in the past, like people, and not everyone likes him. I enjoy him, but like Boogie 2988 one year won content creator of the year. And he has like videos that he edits, and they have like, even though they're goofy, he does have scripts for them, and there's effort put forth. But these guys literally just play a video game, and then it's like, it's the best content of the year. You're telling me the best person on the internet, the most entertaining content creator in the entire year, is Ninja for playing Fortnite? Is that what you're gonna tell me?
See, the achievements is a bit more. He played with Drake.
Oh my.
And some football players from Europe, what you guys call soccer.
Right, yeah, we call it the right name.
Well, this is not a sports stream yet. I will defend this.
You can finish what you're saying.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I guess it depends. Like when you say content creator of the year, like if they're talking about who was the most successful and like, earning money and getting their name out there and stuff, then yeah, it was probably Ninja. I mean, he was on the cover. What magazine was that? Not too long ago. It was like a sports magazine or something. He was like on the cover of it, I think.
Yeah.
ESPN or some shit, right?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. I'm not into sports, but I know he was on the cover of the magazine. And if you go by just that, then yeah, he probably should have won. But if you go by like you were saying, like who put like actual time and effort into editing and writing scripts and things like this, and more artistic views into their work, then definitely, Fortnite, any Fortnite player probably shouldn't win that. Probably shouldn't win.
Yeah, right. But I know for a fact that some of the streamers are not only streaming Fortnite. They play other games, but they still chose to show that these are still playing Fortnite or have played Fortnite at some point. And it's something that they do for like variety streams. They might have something they stream almost every single stream, but they decided to do more variety and played some Fortnite because it was a huge hit at that point, and it gets more views. You're basically forced to play that game if you want to make it on Twitch.
Yeah, basically.
The only thing, the biggest problem with all five that I have with all five being Fortnite players, I necessarily don't have a problem with a Fortnite player winning, because like you said, he is the most successful. He had the biggest stream of that time. But if you were to cover up the cam, the cam from those streams, would you be able to tell who was who? And if not, then what makes that person like the content creator of the year? Like if you were to just play all five and just cover up the camera, would you be able to tell the difference between the content that they create?
See, I haven't even considered that. I think that's a very good argument. I think it's a huge rabbit hole kind of discussion is to even go into what is content creation. Are we even content creators? I mean, I personally don't consider myself a content creator. I just stream video games. And
right, and that's why none of us were on that list.
Of course.
Next year.
Yeah, we got it, dude. There's 4 spots.
But I mean, even with like content creation, like I don't know if you guys know this one actually streamer who became partner this year. I think he actually started this year too. But anyway, he's called Cardboard Cowboy. Now he actually puts effort into his stream, and he's literally the cardboard cowboy. He has tons and tons of custom made scenes where he uses cardboard and then he portrays like cowboy shit and stuff. And I mean, it's fun stuff, and he actually puts effort and thought behind it. And I mean, that's the sort of person I would consider for any sort of content creator award. A person who actually did something and made something that was successful and grew part of it. I mean, Ninja won the game this year by having the most viewers and having the opportunity to stream with real celebrities. So he automatically wins. Like nobody else on that Game Awards list had a chance to win, essentially.
Yeah. At that point, it just became who's most popular. It should have been who's most popular award.
Yeah.
Oh, it's definitely is.
Or like now, the most well-known streamer right now.
Yeah. That I would not. If it was literally called the most popular streamer of the year, I would have been fine. I wouldn't argue with it at all. But I just know that there like Tumalo said with Cardboard Cowboy, there's a lot of people out there that put a lot more effort into their content, and I think it's a shame that just because he has the numbers that he's like the face of Twitch whenever there's so many more people putting in so much more effort and putting in the hours and stuff like that. So
yeah,
that's my piece.
Yeah.
Yep.
Does anybody else want to talk about the actual awards that were given out? Is anything noteworthy? Like I've been very vocal in the past that I don't really care about awards themselves. I think they're useless. But I mean, if you
I want to talk about a little bit more about the best esports game, and Overwatch got it this year, and I think they totally earned that spot because their game was a horrible space, and they made it better. Like, I feel like people are going back to Overwatch after all the stuff they did. They release new characters, and they still keep maintaining that sort of like society, and they make so much effort for that, and I feel like they totally deserve that this year.
Yeah.
I just think Overwatch fails as an esport.
But it's still huge. And
so what makes you say it fails as an esport?
Because Dota, League, and CS:GO are all way bigger as an esport.
Yeah, but it's not the biggest esport.
We're talking more.
Yeah,
I know. But we're talking about the best esport game, and I think the player count of that esport matters because the players make the esport. They make the game what it is, right?
Well, yeah,
I think this kind of ties into what we were just talking about with Ninja. So you're getting more into like what's the most popular instead of like what is being like worked on the most and put more time into by developers and things like that. And like North was saying, like with Overwatch, like I played it a while when it came out, and then I took a long hiatus, and then I came back and I was like, oh, there's some new characters, and then I took like a short hiatus and came back, and there was like 4 more characters, and I'm like, oh, they're still working on this game. They're putting a lot more effort into it now and doing things like that. And I think when people see that, they go, oh, this is why this game deserves, like best esport kind of game, just because of the fact that a lot of people are playing it, but the devs and everything are putting a lot of time into it too, and like working with the players to make a great product.
See, I'm not calling it a bad product. It's a very good product.
Well, you did say it failed as an esports game, so that's
as an esport, but not as a game.
But as an esport, it's super easy to get in compared to others, in my opinion.
So,
I think they made the very accessible. You have multiple platforms you can play the game on, and they have like, I'm not 100% sure how you get into Overwatch esport, but I feel like it's a lot easier to get in there than like Dota or League. They have like sort of like regionals, and they recruit like the best players in the areas and stuff like that. It seems a lot more logical than what I'm not sure what Dota or how League make their, but you have to go to like tournaments first and you have to have teams and stuff like that. But still, I feel like Overwatch made it a lot more accessible, making it super easy for people to get in technically.
So whenever I asked what made it fail as an esport, you said that 3 other games had a bigger player base. So it's just worse because more people play other games. Like it's a failure. It's a failure as a game because it doesn't have the biggest player base.
It's not a failure as a game, but as an esport. I mean, when I think about Dota League or CS:GO. And I mean, keep in mind, I not to validate my opinions more than anyone else's opinions. I watch these games for a living, and the organizations behind League and Dota and CS:GO are way bigger. They have the biggest audience. They do the biggest tournaments. They don't necessarily develop the game, but they develop the esports scene further than what Overwatch does.
So I mean, not to keep beating a dead horse, but your argument is still boiling down to bigger is better.
Yes, because we're talking about a sport.
An esport, yeah. But it's not, I mean, it's an esport game. The category isn't just esport, it's esport game. Well, game being the operative word. It's not an esports scene or an esports organization or an esports team. It is specifically the game. And so far, you're just saying bigger is better.
I mean, yeah, that's because I think it that way. I mean, I get your argument. I do understand it, and it's a valid argument you make. You're looking at it as from the game standpoint, and I'm more looking at it from the esports standpoint. And see, I don't know how on what merits they chose the winner, but ultimately, I myself would have given this to CS:GO. Not necessarily because I think CS:GO is not the best game on that list, but they have made the biggest strides forward to push forward the CS:GO esports scene this year, in my mind. I mean, arguably you could also say Dota, but I don't follow Dota as much.
I get
Moving on.
I mean,
how'd you? I gotta bring up. How did you feel about Dead Cells winning the best action game? Tom.
Best action. What else was even nominated? Black Ops 4.
I know Dead Cells won though.
So nominees: Mega Man 11, Far Cry 5, Destiny 2, Forsaken, and Call of Duty Black Ops 4. So the winner is Dead Cells. I've played Dead Cells a lot of hours this since release.
You think it deserved it?
I don't know. Yes,
You're
no.
dumb.
What's,
Come on, dude.
Well, let me.
You got like over 500 hours in the game.
Let me ask, what's the difference between an action game and an action adventure game?
I have no idea.
I had that in my my little list here too because I saw that and I was like, "What's like?"
At first, I was thinking, okay, maybe action game. They mean like a linear story. You're just in it for the action. But like Far Cry 5, there's like all kinds of crap that isn't just like straight action.
It's more like adventure action.
Yeah, but then like I don't know, like Shadow. Well, I've only played 3 of the games on action adventure. I haven't played Odyssey or Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I want to know what their definition between action and action adventure is, because in my mind, Far Cry 5 and Marvel's Spider-Man would almost be in the same category because they both have a main story, but then they also have just tons of side stuff.
I mean, yeah. Overall, I'm happy that Dead Cells is getting recognition. It's a small indie company, and Dead Cells is a good game. It's a very good game. It's a damn fucking brutal game, though, when you play on the hardest difficulty, at least.
Yeah.
Any time like an indie studio like that wins an award, I'm always happy. Even if I don't particularly, which isn't the case now. I like Dead Cells a lot, but anytime something like that, like Celeste won like 2 or 3 awards.
Yeah, Celeste did really well. I think that's awesome. Celeste is a good game too. Of the indie games that were, let me quickly find it here. Shit. Oh wait, where's my mouse? So they had the wait, that's not that thing. Oh, because it's independent game. It's not indie game. It's independent game.
Yeah, and also games for Impact.
Yeah, they won that too. But from the independent list, like looking at the games that are here, Celeste is a very good game. Dead Cells is a very good game. Into the Breach is a very good game. The Messenger is very, 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 very good game. And Return of the Obra Dinn is something I haven't yet played, but will play.
So from that, would you say Messenger is better than Dead
Cells? Personally, I would have given the best independent game to Messenger.
So isn't Messenger just like a Ninja Gaiden type game?
Yes.
So why isn't that an action game?
I don't know. because I mean, Messenger has also these like pseudo kind of Metroidvania type stuff that you backtrack a lot, and it is an adventure. You have a story and characters, and I don't know.
I don't know. I just feel like I'm nitpicking, but I just want to know like what. Maybe they have definitions for their things, because like I wouldn't have considered Monster Hunter World a role playing game, and that's what won best role playing game of the year was Monster Hunter World.
Let's make a game that falls into all those categories, in every single category.
Yeah, we have to make an indie mobile game with action adventure.
Let's do that.
That everyone in the
fighting family game.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
Another quick award that I wanted to bring was they did best performance. Roger Clark, who did Arthur Morgan, against Christopher Judge, who was Kratos, and the guy that Red Dead, pretty much the guy that did Arthur Morgan, he won. And I just wanted to mention that, like, I agree with that, because I think in God of War, Kratos showed. I mean, he has emotion and stuff, but you know, he said "boy" like 100 times basically in the game, and you know, like he basically said that over and over and over in different tones and stuff. And even though he had a lot of emotion and stuff, I don't think that it was a wide variety of, you know, tones and emotions and things like that. So I could definitely agree with their decision there.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm not trying to downplay Christopher Judge, but I feel like if his voice wasn't already by default that deep, I don't know that it would be as impactful. Like if it would have just, and I guess that's probably true with anybody who's doing voice acting, but like I feel like a lot of that is from like the bass in his voice, where from what I've played in Red Dead 2, I think all of the voice acting in it is actually really, really well done.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I wanted to say, that the overall voice acting in Red Dead 2 is goddamn phenomenal. And, I mean, across the board, it's very, very professional. And, I mean, even the fact that the length Rockstar went, that when you're riding your horse and you have Dutch riding in front of you, and your Dutch is talking to you, and you're, like, next to Dutch, so he's talking like this. But if Dutch gets further away from you, his voice gets higher because he has to shout to you. So think about how much work they did just to record that shit. Because I imagine they have to record all the lines twice, especially the lines when you're riding the horse. It's an insane amount of work and like attention to detail, and just to make sure that their game is the best kind of game that they can put out.
But in my opinion, in Red Dead 2, the complexity of the performance is a lot higher compared to God of War. because there's a lot of different communications, and it's not just talking to a boy a million times, boy. It like that is the best performance you can get from God of War. I don't think there was any other person that could have done it better. But since Red Dead has a lot more complex conversations, you can see the level a lot higher than what could have been in God of War. But it goes for Red Dead and Roger Clark, and I think it's a right choice here.
Yeah, I think so too. But there is, and if you don't have if you didn't play God of War a lot, you probably wouldn't know this. But he actually does have a lot of dialogue, but I think it's also partly because Kratos just is like a flat thing, like Trevor was saying. But he does have a lot of those type of voice lines, because every time you go out on a boat and go sailing, he actually tells a story. So he talks a lot more than some people might realize.
He talks a lot. That I know. I've played Red Dead, or not Red Dead. I mean, I played God of War until I want to say I'm past the midway point of the game. I'm not super sure at what point, but I have. Oh.
But still, it's like it's Kratos' personality. Yeah. He's supposed to be this, basically emotionally dull guy. Mm-hmm. So even though he tells a cool story, he's still gonna be like, boy.
Yeah.
There was this and that, and still it goes like that because it's supposed to be going that way. It would be weird having like Roger Clark doing that with a high-pitched voice somewhere, and the boy would run away and would raise his voice. Boy, come back here!
Or to see a happy Kratos running around.
But I want to talk a little bit more about God of War. And I think the character development for the boy was amazing. Like how he got mad and they sort of get a little bit apart and then they get back together. It's amazing. I don't know how to describe it. It's just so good. You got to play it if you haven't played it.
Yeah. They did a really good job of making me.
Yeah,
they did a really good job of making me like being like, okay, this kid's pretty cool, you know. And then like you said, like maybe in the mid part, a little after midway, I'm like, I don't fucking like this kid.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you're like at the end, you're like, this kid's pretty cool again. I like him. They do a pretty good job of just making your emotions go up and down with just how you feel about the kid himself.
Yeah, I think that's just like, if I don't know about you guys, but like once I get it in. Someone's just a douchebag, I'm like, F that. I don't care. I just hope this kid dies. But that, like Trevor said, it is exactly what you happen. At first you're like, oh, it's sad. This kid's mom's died and his dad's an asshole. And then he becomes an asshole. And I was like, all right, this kid, I hope I'm going to kill this kid with my bare hand. And it's like, oh man, I feel bad for the kid again.
God damn it. No, I am going to finish the game. Like,
that's how we can tell how far you made of the game yet. Did you feel like you wanted to kill the kid yet, Tom?
I mean, I just like kids, like overall. I wanted to punch the shit out of that kid from like minute number 1.
Brutal.
I know. No, I haven't gotten. I don't think I've gotten that far in the game. If you're supposed to like hate the kid, because that hasn't happened.
Yeah, there's a definite like turning point in the game where he basically hits his like teenage rebellion phase.
Oh man!
And it's just a little douchebag for like 10 hours.
Man, can I even take that?
I mean, if you get enough fights, just fight and sail all the time, and he doesn't have any.
Okay. You guys want to talk about the announced games at Game Awards?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just want to talk about one game essentially, and
Only one game.
Also because I'm a bad host, I don't have the list. I need to do this thing for you guys on stream. I mean, because I can get the list, but for the people watching, and watch the title screen for a few seconds while I fish this shit out. Once we Is it this Polygon article actually? Strategy?
Yeah, one of the two that I sent there was
great stuff. There we go.
Can you guys hear my mom talking to my niece?
Yeah. It's very quiet though. Very quiet though.
Okay.
Quiet. I mean, if it gets like super obnoxious, maybe we'll tell you. Maybe not.
Yeah, please tell me if it gets too bad, because she gets pretty wound up on that kind
of stuff. So a lot of games were announced. Some of the games were I was genuinely surprised for. And I was excited because Jeff Keighley hyped up people before the show by essentially saying that they're going to have something really, really big. And I think I know which game he meant, but I'm not sure if Jeff Keighley likes the games I like. So, but so for everyone, what's the game you're looking most forward to? That was announced.
Are you asking us or
the... Yeah.
No.
No, I'm asking the Invisible Man right next to me.
Well, in my opinion, I think I want to see Atlas, because they make a lot of promises, and I don't know if they can actually keep it. But if they can, it's gonna be really good.
It's what they talked about Atlas is grandiose ideas, and we'll see if they can actually pull it out.
Yeah, the map is supposed to be 45,000 square kilometers. And do you know how big that thing is?
They said it was 1,200 times bigger than one ARC server.
It's basically size of Sweden. That's how big it is.
My backyard, you know.
Yeah. How many players?
That is one huge map.
Everyone. It's all one server, Trevor.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. But didn't they I thought they gave a number. Like 40,000 or something crazy.
Over 40,000 players.
I think you're right now. I think you're right. But everyone is supposed to be in one server.
One server, okay.
See, that's the crazy part for me. If it is, let's say it's 40,000 people. Now, every MMO map or whatever ever made has some point or a couple of points in the map where there naturally is more people than on the rest of the map. So take 40,000 people. Let's cut it to 10,000. Can 10,000 people be in one city, trading shit and looking for quests or party members or whatever they do? Can the server goddamn support that? Because that's a lot of people. And servers crash.
I guess they would have to make a lot of hotspots. They say they have like 700 unique islands, and I think every single island must have at least one city where you can do basically all the stuff that in other cities too. But it's going to be unique city. But if you divide that 10,000 to 700 by 700, it's not going to be that much anymore. But I know if like you get 200 people fighting in a game, it's gonna drop your FPS, and I don't know, it's gonna burn out the servers or something. It's not good.
The way that, and I guess it really depends on how they do it, because I think they've said it's going to be like one. Did they say if this open world was going to be? I know that kind of defeats the purpose of calling it an open world, but did they say it was going to be like one seamless world? Because the way that I could see them getting around, like what Tumalo said, everyone on one server at a time, is if they almost had like certain sections you went through, kind of like a load screen, and like different continents were actually different servers, but still like one mega server was each continent. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they were all separated. Instead of having like different instances of the world that everyone, they would just separate parts of the world into different servers, so you could kind of go between each of them.
Is that what they do in Elder Scrolls Online? And like separate every different areas, I think.
I'm not sure. That's how they do it with WoW. They have, separate areas, but I don't know about ESO. Yeah, that could potentially be one way that they would kind of circumvent the having all that stress on one server.
Yeah, I have no idea.
That does make sense.
See, I don't know anything about the technical aspect of an MMO. I just think that how they announced the map, that it's so huge and they have such a large player base on the one server. It's certainly, because it's not been done before, I have my doubts that it will. Doubts on even will it run properly.
Yeah, and I would say that if it does end up being like you were saying, Grategy, with like the separate servers that kind of make it one big thing, like they kind of, if that's what it is, then what they described at the Game Awards is not that. They more described like a scene. I think from what I heard, like I interpreted it as a seamless world.
Right.
Maybe it's just an ad. Making promises.
Maybe it's just an ad.
We'll actually see soon, right? Like, doesn't early access start like in a couple days?
Doesn't it start tomorrow?
Yeah, is it tomorrow or? Well, yeah, tomorrow for you guys. Yeah. For those of us that still live in the past.
Yeah. Past people 2 days. Yeah.
So we'll find out. That's what kind of blew my mind. That because I'm really big into like mythology and stuff like that, and that's probably why I like God of War so much. And as soon as I saw them like fighting a Hydra and a Cyclops at the same time, I was like, this thing is dope as hell. I'm into this. So
I also kind of want to see the UI, because all the videos, all the pictures that they given, they don't have the UI at all. You don't know how it's gonna be looking like. It's just gonna be like classical MMO where you have your like action bar here and some here, and then something here and here. It is gonna cover everything, and still gotta see that one.
Yeah, like I said, we'll find out in a couple days, but I definitely am looking forward to that. But I think given that company's track record, I probably won't like it, but I hope I do.
So apparently the game has been pushed back to the 19th.
Yikes.
That's not good news.
They got too much hype.
Yeah, they probably did, because there's tons of people that play Ark. I won't play Ark on principle now, just because they released an expansion before they actually fully released their game.
See, yeah, that was some shitty game tactic or business practice.
But what is going to happen if, let's say, we have like suddenly 1 million players want to play Atlas? What happens then? Are they still going to be on the same server? Is there going to be multiple servers?
Maybe they'll have 2 servers.
Yeah, one at EU and one at US.
Yeah, we got one EU and one NA.
Then they would need like Asia. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that plays out.
I'd be curious to see how many concurrent players games like 7 Days and Ark have. Like, does it even come up to nearly the 40,000 that they said one server would be able to handle?
I mean, I actually don't know. I have no idea how, like, even what kind of numbers World of Warcraft pulls, or ESO, or like whatever. I've never played an MMO except for World of Warcraft for 2 weeks. Then I kind of died, and
after a very quick Googling, the peak number of players in 7 Days, and I think 7 Days is really popular. It may not be the most popular survival game, but I'd say in the last 30 days, 7 Days peak player base was only 27,000.
Okay.
Like
way more than I thought.
Concurrent players at once was.
I would have guessed like, I don't know, 5,000.
Yeah. So.
Serves me right. Don't know anything.
That'll learn you.
Yeah. That'll learn you.
Is that saying how many people have played it in the whole week, or how many people played it all, like, You're saying like
at one time.
Simultaneously.
At one time. Okay.
Yeah.
There's
concurrent, the largest concurrent player base that they've had, and I think this may be all time. It was 27,000. So the most players that 7 Days to Die has ever had is 27,000. So assuming, wonder if Ark has that type of thing too.
So Chad is saying that that's after an update, but I think that it's fairly obvious that after every update, the concurrent player amount just rises for a bit before it dips down again.
Yeah.
I was wrong about 7 Days being a large one. I didn't realize how big Ark was.
Wow, we're talking 60,000, 70,000, 100,000?
Yeah.
Shit.
100,000?
Their peak player base, let me change it to all time. Their peak player base of all time is 106,000 concurrent players in Ark.
Oh, damn.
That is a ton of... Yeah, so I mean, if this is even half as successful as Ark, it's already more players than Ark has. That's a lot.
Yeah, I would not expect that many players at one time.
That's crazy.
So, are you guys gonna buy Atlas when it comes out? Is it an instant day one buy?
It depends. If it's $20, I'll buy it day one.
What if it's $60?
If it's 60, I won't.
I'm gonna see how it plays out, and then maybe if I like it.
What if it's $59.90?
Is that on sale? Is $59.90 the sale price?
Yeah. It's a steal, man.
I'm probably gonna hold off on it for the time being.
Yeah, I mean, I'll look into it. I mean, I'm not gonna buy it day one or nothing. I'll check it out on the internets, but I'm not very big into MMOs in the first place, so it's probably not
play MMO. Holy shit!
Nah, bro.
I'll say it's a game that it did pique my interest, and I am interested in it a good bit. But I just if it like you said, if it's like $20, then yeah, I'll definitely probably get that. But if it's full price $60 game, then no, I'll just hold off.
I have a feeling they will have like a monthly subscription you have to pay.
You think so?
That is something like it's not cheap to hold those servers up, probably.
Yeah, if it's something like that too, if it's like a monthly
MMOs
thing,
usually have that thing.
Yeah, I'm not interested in things like that. So
no, unless it is just so good, I won't do it for a monthly subscription.
Yeah, I haven't found a game yet in my lifetime that I was like, this is so good, I got to pay them every month for it.
I was pretty deep into WoW. I won't get into that, but I'll just say that whenever I was in college, I would wake up at 6 a.m. to do my dailies before school, and then work all day, and then go home and stay up until 2 raiding, and then wake up and do it again. I did that for like a year. So WoW earned my money. Kind of shifting gears a little bit. How about the direct middle finger to Bethesda that is called Outer Worlds?
See, that's the one game I want to talk about. That's the one game I want to talk about.
Because that's what it is.
It
is like a direct middle finger.
And I mean, not like this is what is in my mind makes it even better. They've been making the game for 2 years, and I assume they probably maybe knew that Bethesda is making Fallout 76, but they could not know how much Fallout 76 would bomb, and because it bombed, they are having the easiest marketing campaign ever now.
Yeah.
Their marketing campaign could literally just be, it's not Fallout 76.
or like fucking anything. I mean, they're already putting the middle fingers in the promotional material that they displayed at the they have the original Fallout creators, which piques people's interest. Obviously, I know that Obsidian made Fallout New Vegas, and a lot of other people obviously know that they made New Vegas, but there's probably a huge group of people who don't associate a company with a game. like Obsidian because they make a lot of games. Well, there
Like
we go.
me.
One. But yeah, it's a game I will buy day one. I don't even care. I will buy it. I trust Obsidian that much. I won't pre-order it because no fucking pre-orders. You hear me, chat? No fucking pre-orders.
Yeah, it's I'm a big fan of just Fallout in general, and like you said, it's from Obsidian and everything, and it just has that whole Fallout aesthetic to it and everything. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. And it's in space.
It's Fallout in space. I mean, for obvious reasons, they can't really mimic probably Fallout too much, like with a post-nuclear world or super mutants or ghouls or whatever, because I mean trademarks and shit. But they're essentially making Fallout in space.
Yeah,
it's kind of weird to hear you say that you trust a game company, and also about the game. I'm not a huge Fallout fanboy. I haven't played any of them, so that might be one of the reasons. But the only thing I'm really interested about is how they gonna, like, the quest system. How are they gonna implement all that? Is it gonna be like basically open world where you walk and you have like what do you say, like there's some area and there's quest marker and it has like a time limit. If you don't do that quest during that time, the quest goes off. Is it gonna have something like that? And what kind of the main protagonist is gonna be? Because it says you have like this huge number of people and he handpicked you to do it. There was like this.
Since you have not played a Fallout game.
Nor have I, for the record. Just 76, only 76.
I mean, it's gonna be a straightforward first-person RPG game, single player. That is what it's gonna be. And I mean, so far what I've listened to a couple of interviews. There will be planets, and as in multiple. And each planet serves kind of like this mini open world. And you go do quests and stuff. And so I assume it will work exactly like a Fallout game works. You talk to people and you find out the quests. And on the quests, they told that you can complete every single quest in multiple ways. Much like what CD Projekt Red is marketing Witcher and Cyberpunk, that you can go guns blazing, or you can go stealthy, or you can talk your way out of situations.
That sounds cool.
See, I think the game will be a success, especially if it truly comes out next year. And like they don't have a date, but they only stated that it's 2019. That would give them 3 years of development time. Now, in my mind, 3 years is not that much, considering in today's world where games like Red Dead and God of War, they have, 7 years of development time, which is a lot, and they're single player games too. So I'm interested in seeing what Obsidian can do in 3 years, considering it is going to be an RPG with a game that has these. You can do quests in multiple ways, which means you need to do more work because it's not linear, and you have dialogue, and you can, when different things happen, other things happen because of those things, and so I don't know. 3 years sounds like a short amount of time to do this kind of game, but I will play it. I mean, and North is right. North is right that I don't. Very rarely do I praise game companies. And very rarely do I.
It'll be a day one buy for me.
Yeah.
Even if it is $60.
Oh, it's definitely gonna be $60.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure about that. Another game that I'm really looking forward to is Hades, developed by Supergiant Games. And I like Supergiant Games too. They're creators of Bastion and Transistor and Pyre. All good games. I mean, Pyre is... I don't really care for Pyre too much, but the music is goddamn great in that game.
I didn't even see the trailer for that. I'm looking at it right now just on that list. So it's basically just like an isometric adventure game.
It's
what it looks like.
So I've watched a couple of streams of it. You can play the game right now. You need to just buy it from the Epic Games Store, which is
just buy it now.
It's a storefront. I mean, it's in early access and stuff, so I'm holding off. It looks kind of like death is a part of it. It's kind of like a roguelike dungeon crawler, where like dying ties into the progression, like in Dead Cells, for instance, or The Binding of Isaac. Well, not dying in Isaac, but you need to like play the Isaac multiple times to unlock all the stuff.
Yeah, I feel like that the game is more story driven than Dead Cells, but it feels very similar. And I watched the trailer, and they showcased the main protagonist's father, probably Hades, and 4 other characters that they didn't name. So I'm thinking the game is probably gonna have like at least 4 bosses before the last boss, and that is something I feel like they already given away. But it definitely feels like Dead Cells, not a platformer, and it's gonna have a bunch of different skills, and you're gonna die a lot.
Well, yeah, dying ties into the progression, so you're supposed to die.
Yeah,
much like in Dead Cells, you're supposed to die. And I mean, I'll play this eventually once it gets developed a little bit further. I'm trying not to buy early access games because, I mean, even though I bought Dead Cells a year ago, when it essentially came out in early access, and the game has changed a lot since that day when it finally hit like 1.0.
One of the games that I'm actually legitimately kind of looking forward to, and probably almost no one else is, and I've kind of made the joke a couple times, and I don't know if I've been on stream, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, because I love those. Like, it's nice just to sit down and play like a dumb hack and slash game like that. I just think those kind of things could be fun, and the last one came out like 10 years ago or something. It's nice to see another one.
Yeah, with Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, like, I played the first 2, and like you said, like 10 years ago, and but to me, it's one of those games. Unless they changed it, if it's just like the past 2 games, it's really fun to play when you're playing it, and then when you beat it, you're like, "Oh, all right, I'm done with that," and it's just like a one-time playthrough.
That's a good point.
I've found myself like 2 or 3 times, like in the past, like literally 10 years, to looking at my PlayStation store and like, I'm gonna get Marvel Alliance again because they like remade it and stuff. And then like every time, like, no, if I buy it, then I'm just gonna play it and then get tired of, or not get tired, beat it, and then never play it again. And it's just one of those games. Like, I think you'll have fun playing it, and then when you're done having fun playing it, you'll never play it again.
Yeah, that's fair.
In my opinion, they're like riding the Marvel bus, I guess, because it's so popular and they're releasing like 3 movies a year. So
that is definitely what they're doing.
Yeah,
just saying.
Like my little brother, he has a lot of Marvel related video games, like Lego Marvel and whatever. Like, there's so many things. They just pick something and add Marvel to it. And, oh, Legos, that's cool. Let's add that thing there. It's boom. It sells like crazy.
I'm a Marvel fanboy. There's like 6 Marvel things on the shelf. So, like, all the way up to the top, there's Marvel stuff everywhere. So, like I said, I'm just a fanboy for it. And it's those games, the only time that I've went back, and Trevor's right, like, as a single player experience, once you play through it, you're pretty much done. But I have actually went back and played like Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 with friends. Like, if you can get someone else to play with you, it's pretty fun doing like all the different combos and things like that on those type of games. But yeah, as a single player experience, I definitely, once you play it, it's pretty much done.
Yeah.
So,
what do you guys think about it?
Yeah, go ahead.
What do you guys think about the game called Scavengers? Did you guys see that?
I mean,
it's the one. They didn't come out right out and say it, but I believe that it's going to be just another battle royale game.
It is. Didn't Jeff Keighley like ask if this is a battle royale, and that Dev was like, no, and then he listed all the things that are like battle royale, and I'm like, it's a fucking battle royale.
I wrote down a couple of quotes that the guy said. He said it's a survival shooter cooperation, and also it's a survival condensed into replayable sessions. So
a VR game.
Battle royale. Yeah. Nice. I'm glad. But now we have a hard definition for next year. Whenever they battle royale year.
Yeah.
Now we have a hard definition. It's a cooperation.
Yeah, cooperation. Yeah. Obviously.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed the trailer. It was really good.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say, like, when I saw the trailer, I was like, "Oh, this looks pretty good. Like, this is something I really like." And then after hearing the guys start talking about it, you just like, I remember when I was watching it, I was watching it on Twitch, I believe, and you could just see the chat, and everyone was just like, "Battle Royale, Battle Royale, Battle Royale." Like,
no, it's Skate 4.
Or Skate 4, yeah. But
I mean, I'll look at it when it comes out, but I'm honestly so tired of battle royale.
Yeah. The thing with me, like, I like battle royale games, but we already have enough. Like, unless they just do something drastically different, then
at this point, like, they need to. And it sounds so stupid. Like, battle royale has been big for like 1 year, and I feel like at this point they need to innovate the genre to make sure it doesn't die if they want to like continue doing this. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Let the kids play Fortnite, and I'll wait for my silly indie games. And
yeah.
Oh no.
I don't. I mean, obviously, just from if anyone has watched my streams, I'm more of a story person, so battle royales don't really have any attraction to me.
I mean, I still play PUBG with a couple of friends, and I do. I don't know. I watch like battle royale games, but I mean,
obviously they're not mutually exclusive, but that's whenever I play a game, a lot of the time I'm into it. With the exception of Overwatch, I dump too much time into Overwatch. But even then, like, I really enjoy the story that is also attached to Overwatch. So just that kind of stuff. And that's part of the reason I'm a big fan of survival games either, because it's basically like every PS2 game that had a sandbox cheat code. That's what those games are. It's like, I'm not actually doing anything. I'm just killing it. Doesn't matter if I die. It's a sandbox. I'll just start over. I'll just reset.
So this is something that like dissect this in like 2 seconds, but the Dragon Age teaser. I'm not super sure if this is it supposed to be a remake or Dragon Age 4?
I heard it was supposed to be a remake. I missed that trailer as well, but I heard it was supposed to be a remake.
So, because, I mean, it's a minute long, very, very slowly moving trailer. And then it ends with hashtag the Dread Wolf rises.
Yeah, I believe the Dread Wolf was like a character in the earlier games.
See, I don't know.
I think that's what I read. Well, I don't know if they're saying like, like this is a prequel and this guy's in it, or that we're remaking the game with this guy in it, or this is a new game where this guy's coming back, or which I'm assuming that's what it is since it says he rises. But hell if I know.
Yeah,
I feel like it's gonna be like, this is total speculation, but I feel like it's gonna be prequel and it's gonna have that character and how it's gonna rise to power, I guess. I never played any Dragon Age, so it's very hard for me to tell.
I've only played Dragon Age 2.
Yeah.
Which is like universally hated by the Dragon Age fans. I'm like the odd man out.
I was gonna play him, and then there was that thing where they had the DLC, and I was like, never mind. I don't need to give that company my money.
I mean, it's EA, so...
Yeah. Oh, it is, but easy. Okay.
I'm not gonna buy the new Dragon Age. Come on, what are you? Just asking your opinions on it. I'm not gonna play the fucking thing.
I think it looks cool. I think that anything like that is like as ambitious as that series kind of has been, and it's not like groundbreaking, but it was really early in those type of games. Like really, I feel like this game and like the Mass Effect series and those types of games were kind of groundbreakers in that type of story.
Oh yeah, I mean BioWare as a company is really at this point I'd say legendary in their storytelling, but I mean BioWare is a husk of its former self, having gone through the death machine of EA. So I mean, well, Anthem comes out in a couple of months, so we'll see what kind of BioWare is left. Because I highly doubt that Anthem is going to be a story-driven game. Even though they really are telling us that it's going to have a story. And I'm like, nah.
Destiny was a story-driven game. Till the end. And at the end game, it's...
See, there's a big difference between a story-driven game and a game that has a story which is not the main focal point of the game.
Yeah.
Destiny is not a story-driven game. It has a story which no one cares about because it's not the reason you play Destiny.
But you have to play it anyway.
But
you play the campaign.
That's the reason it's 4 hours long.
But do you have to play the campaign? Because
I mean, I think you have to play the campaign to kind of get to the thing you're supposed to get to.
Okay. I wasn't sure because there's WoW, you didn't have to play any campaign. It is not, even though it has a ton of, almost no one besides me played it for the story. You know, they just got to the end and it's like, all right, what's going on? This guy's name doesn't. I'm just gonna put a skull over his head. That's where. But then there's Final Fantasy 14. Shout outs to Sully because I know he apparently. You have to go through the story. You have to do the essential quests before you can actually progress in the game. Even after you hit max level, I remember I was playing Final Fantasy 14 whenever the first X-Pack came out, and I was max level, but I wasn't done with the story yet. And I bought the X-Pack and I couldn't even access the stuff from the X-Pack because it was no, you still have 15 hours of story. You got it.
Mm-hmm. It has 100 quests after you do it. It's a grind fest.
I thought Destiny was closer to WoW, where if you wanted to, you could really skip it all and just grind to get your levels and then raid. I thought it was more towards that direction as opposed to Final Fantasy 14.
I'm trying to, guys. People over on chat is looking at the intro scene again because I'm trying to change the server we're on. Is
I can change it in a second.
Oh, you can do it. Okay, cool. Switch it to US East, I guess. Yeah. Is everyone still alive?
Yeah.
Yep. And I also saw Gradigy's webcam flashing a little bit every now and then. The color changes.
Yeah, the color correction thing is but it's minuscule. I'm more concerned about the voice cutting out.
Yeah.
Anyway, the show goes on.
Show must go on.
That's how I felt about it, but whatever.
I mean, yeah.
Well, Far Cry, New Dawn.
So I'm actually
New Dawn.
I'm actually happy that it's going to be a standalone DLC, just like Blood Dragon, which means probably that you don't need to own Far Cry 5 to play it. I think, just like with Blood Dragon, you can buy Blood Dragon without having Far Cry 3. And I mean, sure, I'll play it. Why not? It'll probably be like a $20 DLC, and it looks like it's a kind of Ubisoft wacky. So
yeah, I believe it is supposed to essentially be in the same vein as Blood Dragon, where it's like, yeah, it's technically Far Cry, but really,
I mean, they're doing their own version of kind of Fallout.
I feel like it's definitely like a DLC, and I'm really hoping that they're gonna have like the same map as Far Cry 5, but with a lot of different things like buildings moved and like holes on the ground and stuff like that after the nuke went off and stuff like that.
I think they're gonna have the same map. It might be condensed a little bit.
So. Yeah.
They also teased in the video they showed, like right at the end of the trailer, they showed I forget what his name is, but the main bad guy from Far Cry 5. Was it Joseph? I think it's
Joseph.
Hello, Cat. Bye, Cat.
Bye, Cat. But it's very Ubisoft kind of style.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be like Mad Max, but it's gonna be Mad Max with flowers and more arcade type of fighting.
Yeah.
And it's, in my opinion, it's kind of starting to get old because we had so many Far Cries and we had the Wildlands. What is Ghost Recon Wildlands? I didn't like that at all. But like the concept is kind of, even though you change the story, the concept is still the same. You got to change that. At least I don't like the arcade style. Even though it has a good story behind it, but it feels weird. I don't know.
Whenever you say arcade style, what do you mean?
It's like I don't know how to describe it.
It's not Rainbow Six Siege, man. That's what it means.
So do you mean like vibrant or?
Well, that, and it feels weird. It's like I don't know how to say it.
Okay, that's fine.
It just feels weird. It's too vibrant and it's jumpy from place to place, and all the enemies feel like they're just walking cardboards that you just have to knock down. And there's gonna be more cardboard people, and you knock them down too. Like I feel like the game doesn't have that much difficulty unless you have like the highest difficulty on. Then it feels like you're actually doing something.
Yeah, Sully said like run and gun, and I think that would probably be like the all the NPCs kind of lose their depth and they're just targets.
Yeah.
Is that kind of what you mean?
No.
Yeah.
Like, well, geez, North, you don't have to play it, goddammit.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't finish Far Cry 5.
And I mean, it's fine. I get that argument that when you're supposed to be like fighting against an opposing force, and the bad guys are like, they literally die from one bullet. It's like there's not really any character to the bad guys anymore. They're just an endless amount of bad guys that you just mow down to get to the next objective.
But the stories are always good. Like Far Cry 5, in my opinion, really outdid the story. It has a lot of cool stuff, and I even did the side quest stuff because the stories in there are sometimes better than the main story.
This is a little bit slightly off topic, but I actually I went to school, like college school, with this girl that was in the Far Cry 5 short film movies on YouTube or whatever.
Oh, that's cool.
Girl, like baptized in the river.
Oh, cool. That's pretty rad.
Yeah. But she was telling me, because this is back when, we were in college, and she was like telling me how she was going to be in this thing or something like that. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And actually just watched it the other day.
Back to the New Dawn. I think it's going to have same type of stuff that was in Far Cry 5. Like you had that pet you can control. In the trailer, we see a dog jump inside a car and being on the passenger seat. So it's probably going to have that. And maybe there was like this wild boar running next to a vehicle. That might be also, I think they're going to implement. And I like if they are the main bad guys, or like girls actually, like the twins. I feel like they're like I don't know how to say it. They just feel like a good addition to the boss beside Joseph.
I mean, the game will probably like live and die on the story because it comes out like under a year. Like Far Cry 5 came out in March this year, so the DLC comes out like under less than a year from the main release. So they like obviously they don't have time to do new shit for the DLC other than the story. So I do believe the map is going to be the same. All the gameplay mechanics are going to be exactly the same. Now they probably have some new, like they probably reuse assets, but they paint them differently because it's supposed to be like post-nuclear bombs. And probably very short. Just like Blood Dragon. Probably.
Yeah. Probably. I'm sure that it will be. I didn't play all the way through Blood Dragon, but I'm sure that from what I gathered from it, it was just for shits and giggles. Like,
oh yeah,
there's
definitely
not meant to be any kind of compelling story or anything to it. And I'm sure that that's how New Dawn is going to be. It's just going to be like, here's some crap we made that we thought would be fun. Enjoy it.
Oh yeah, probably. So also a thing that they announced during the Game Awards, which I'm personally pretty excited for, is Crash Team Racing remastered. And I double dare anybody challenge me Crash Team Racing.
I never played the original, so I'm sure I would.
What?
I mean,
I never played it.
The more reason you should challenge me so I can beat you and feel good about myself. Nah, but I mean, we don't have to talk about this too much because it's a remaster, and I'm gonna buy it. It's Crash Team Racing is the best racing game I've ever played. So
since you've obviously have a high opinion of it, do you think the demand was there to bring it back?
So Sony has been on this kind of personal journey at this point to remake old classics or remaster them. So the Crash series and the Spyro series, I think they're doing it very deliberately because people are obviously buying these products, and I don't think that they're gonna stop. Is there demand? I particularly don't feel like it, but nostalgia is a hell of a thing.
Yeah, they're cashing on that.
Oh, they're cashing real fucking hard on nostalgia right now, and I do think that next year we'll see even more this sort of behavior from Sony, specifically Sony.
I do think I am glad that it's being made, not because I have any particular strong attachment to that game, but there's so few just goofy ass party games put out anymore that I'm glad that we're getting one on modern consoles. Something like that you can just have like just 4 of your buddies pick up a controller and hate each other at the end of the night, you know? I don't think there's because I'm still a big proponent of couch co-op and couch multiplayer, so I'm glad that something like this is coming to modern consoles because it's not something you see much these days.
I do hope, though, because I don't think they showed any of this in the trailer, so it makes me a little bit worried. I do hope that they will include the battle mode into the remaster. So for those who don't know, Crash Team Racing has the racing aspect, and then they had a separate mode where you're just battling each other with the power-ups and stuff.
Yeah.
In separate like arenas. And I fucking love that. Yeah, like Mario Kart, yeah.
Yeah, but it definitely feels like they're trying to get all the monies. Because if they were to make a similar game like that and try to sell it, it would have a lot smaller target group. It would be for kids over 3 or something like that. But it wouldn't have appeal to people over 20. But if they make a remaster, they can sell basically the same concept, and it does have appeal to pretty much every age range.
I mean, why not? Why not cash in on the both groups? You remake the Spyro games. You take the classic Spyro games, the good ones, not the shitty fucking the newer ones that were made, and you heavily market them. You know that the nostalgia people are gonna buy it because they haven't played a Spyro games in like 20 years, and then you appeal to the kids. It's a blue dragon or like a purple dragon who spits fire and is goofy. So what's not to like? So kids like it, and I like it, and everybody's happy. And Sony makes a ton of money.
And I feel like some parents were like, I don't get to play a lot of games, so I'm gonna buy this and I'm gonna buy it to my kid. So it gets like a aspect what my childhood was like. That's how I would see it.
I mean, there's probably people who do that. They buy their game for their kid, and then they play it themselves too.
Yeah,
definitely.
So, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, was anyone excited about Monkey Simulator?
No.
Ancestors.
No.
I read somewhere.
Honestly, don't know the purpose of it. It looked like Spore, but humans.
Yeah.
Not
I
really
feel
interested.
like I think I read somewhere that some of the people who made it were the original creators of Assassin's Creed, like before. Huge Ubisoft kicked people out. So I hope to see like similar aspect maybe implemented in the game.
I mean, there are monkeys.
So I need to see more because what I did see just wasn't interesting at all. But so I need to see more of it to actually make a informed opinion. But as of right now, it did not appeal to me.
Yeah.
And there was one more game that I wanted to talk about for just a little bit because it wasn't too much to talk about. I'm excited about Mortal Kombat.
Oh, yeah. I have never played a Mortal Kombat game, so I don't know.
I'm real bad at them.
I'm not good at them, but I actually do like some of the story with Mortal Kombat, even though it's kind of weird. And it seemed like just in the trailer, you saw a woman by the hourglass, the sands of time or whatever, and the second Scorpion came out. So it seems like they're going to have like playing on that nostalgia factor and bringing in pretty much the older characters, like in their older costumes and stuff. And one thing I love the trailer because the fight scene was awesome, but the music they chose for the fight scene did not match the fight scene at all.
You're wrong. It was so good. It fit perfectly, in my opinion. And I'm not saying that
the music was bad in itself. I'm just saying it did not match the fight scene.
Yeah, but I feel like it was still a good choice. I don't know what would you play there, like some heavy metal, or are you gonna have like some remastered version of older soundtrack perhaps?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
but I think that's
like when I was watching the trailer, I honestly was like, oh shit, I turned on Spotify or something, like like I thought it was something else playing because it just didn't even flow with what was going on.
Yeah, I mean, classically for Mortal Kombat, like heavy metal is what would have been played there. You know, some harder metal or thrash metal, something like that is what would have been played there. But that, unfortunately, I think that the biggest deciding factor behind that is that these days that kind of music, the kind of music that was in like Mortal Kombat, like Armageddon. I loved Armageddon. I played the crap out of it. But that type of music just isn't popular right now.
Yeah.
I want to ask a question from Trevor. Do you feel that there was a demand for this game? Because I feel like there's a lot of Mortal Kombat games. We need another one.
I mean, honestly, I would, if you just My first answer is no, but then every time they put out a new one, it does very well, very well. So, and they honestly do actually add pretty different dynamics to each game. They kind of started off with just basic 2D, went to 3D, went to 4D, or not 4D, but and then started doing the X-ray moves, all that shit, and they add stuff every time they put out a new game. It's not the same exact thing every single time. But so I think the demand is there apparently because, like I said, they sell.
Yeah,
I would have to agree with that for sure because they've had the opportunity to end the series. Whenever Armageddon originally released, they were like, "All right, this is it. This is the final," and then they've made like 3 more since then. So if the demand weren't there, they already had one out. Because whenever Armageddon released, they said that was going to be the last one.
Yeah, because that one had like every character that they've ever made in it. So
I mean, sure. As long as the games sell, they will be making more of them.
Yeah,
that's just how basic business works. So, I know we haven't covered every single announcement, but do you guys feel that we still need to cover something or move on to the next bit?
The only other game I want to say, and we don't even have to discuss it, but it really fits like what I like in the art style of the game, and I'm looking forward to the gameplay. I think Survived by is going to be sick. I think that it's like just that kind of classic roguelike type thing where except it's kind of like a Rogue Legacy, but just a little bit more polished, and I think it's going to be a fun game.
See, Survived by you can play it right now.
Yeah, I played it.
Mm-hmm. I haven't played it yet. I actually have it downloaded. I just haven't had the opportunity to play it. I've had a busy last week.
Yeah, I played it for like maybe 20 minutes. I think that there's something there. Like I said, 20 minutes. I didn't really get to delve deep into it. But from what I saw, you could choose like up to I think like 3 different characters. Or no, you choose you start off with a character. You basically they make you die in the very beginning, and then they kind of to show that like whole legacy aspect, and then from then you get to choose like what kind of character you want to be until he dies, and you choose the next one, and whatnot. And, I think I liked Rogue Legacy a lot.
Yeah, me too.
So I mean, if it has anything like that, then
Rogue Legacy is also a good game, but it runs like ass on current computers.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's just going to be just a more polished Rogue Legacy, and I'm looking forward to that. Because I know it's not totally out yet. I think it's technically.
It's also it's also online, so like when you're running around, like you see everyone else running around, you're all fighting the same enemies and shit. So
that's kind of cool. Yeah, that's the last one I wanted to bring up.
Yeah, I have really nothing else to bring up on this. I know Fish shouted like an hour ago about PUBG winter map, and it's out. It's the best map on PUBG, but it's still PUBG, and that's about it.
So. I feel like I want to add to that game you talked about. I feel like the online aspect is highly unnecessary, and I think I would be more appealed to the game if it didn't have online.
They definitely shoehorn it into a lot of games needlessly. I don't know to what degree it's in there. So, Trevor, you said that did you see other people playing it or?
Oh yeah. So from what I saw, you start off in like a main town, like a hub, and like there's everyone there, and they kind of send you off on your missions, and basically as you're just running around, you just see everyone else just running around all crazy, and you're all just attacking the random enemies that spawn in. So, but I mean, I don't know if you can like team up with people and fight like bosses or anything like that. I have no idea about that stuff, or if it's just there is a group chat kind of thing. I don't know if that's just the what am I trying to say? Well, yeah. I don't know if that's the end of it. Like, just group chat, and then you can kind of attack the same enemies, but I don't know.
The only thing that I could see adding to that, that adding to the game, is that the deeper you go, the fewer people you'll see, and I think that could like really add to the gravity of a situation whenever you get really deep in the game. Like at the beginning, you're seeing everybody just killing, whatever, essentially the goblins of the game, the easiest thing in the game. But then the deeper you get and the more difficult things get, you're going to see fewer and fewer people. And I think that could be, just kind of add to the atmosphere.
Definitely.
Dudes.
Yep.
So Trevor, I know the next on the list is the big one, but I thought about hopping over the big one and going to Diablo now.
Okay, that's fine.
So let's talk about the greatest upcoming mobile game ever, Diablo Immortal, and how they completely did not understand their audience at BlizzCon this year.
Honestly, I don't know that there's really that much to talk about.
Not anymore, no.
Yeah, well, I think it can just be summed up in the introduction you gave it. It's just a mobile game that the creators of that game have totally missed the mark. Well, not the creators, I should say, because they outsourced that. Blizzard didn't do that. They're too important for petty mobile games.
Yeah, petty mobile games. Go to China now.
I think that because they're the people that have stuck around with Blizzard have been playing those types of games for a long time, and I think that the intro you gave it is the perfect, concise summary for that game. And that's that it was a mobile game that nobody wanted, that nobody asked for. And because effort and time and money was put into that game instead of something they did ask for, people are pissed. And rightfully so.
I mean, does Diablo Immortal have a release date yet?
No. Just next year.
The one thing that concerns me, though, is even though they did have that big outrage and everything, it's probably still going to do very well.
Of course
overseas,
it's going to do well.
Which, if they make their buck, then who's this? What are they going to care? Kind of thing. Yeah. So hopefully... hopefully they just have a conscience and say, well, let's not screw over our fan base here, and let's do some stuff to help that they want, not just stuff overseas kind of thing.
Yeah. So this is what's going to happen, and what has happened. The game is not developed for us. It's not developed for the Western market at all. It should have never been announced at BlizzCon because it's not made for us. It's not made for an American audience. It's not made for an European audience. It is specifically made for the Chinese audience. Like the Chinese mobile market is insanely huge. They don't compare to any metric outside of China. And what the Chinese people are seeing right now, they're living in a peculiar kind of day and age where they're getting an actual middle class in China. And the middle class has cash to spend. So right now, what people are doing is they spend a lot of money on mobile games. So Diablo Immortal will make a shitload of money in China. It will probably be panned in NA and EU, but I bet Blizzard doesn't give a shit. Or rather, Activision doesn't give a shit. If it makes, obviously it's a mobile game, so the development cost is probably compared to any other AAA game. So if they will shove it goddamn full with microtransactions, and people over in the mainland China will buy it up. Because that's what they're doing right now.
Ask, since the normal Diablo games don't really have, at least I don't think they do anymore, have microtransactions at all. I was going to ask if you thought that they'd probably do that with the mobile game, which I assume they will.
They will. I mean, how else will they make money out with the product?
Yeah.
I mean, it's foolish to think in my mind that they're going to release a mobile game without microtransactions. a mobile game that is specifically made for the Chinese market. Like they don't give a shit about microtransactions there. They don't hate the concept.
And that's because I feel like that ties in a lot to how cheap cell phones are over there. So it's way easier to play a mobile game. It's like mobile games are way more accessible in China than like consoles or computers, gaming PCs. Just because, like you said, they're just now kind of getting a middle class. So if for a long time, if you aren't rich, you're poor. But overseas, cell phones are cheap, so that was an easy amount. And I mean, the population of China is more than the population of North America and Europe put together. So why wouldn't they? Well, we might get. I mean, even if they only get like 10-20% of gamers in NA and EU, and then they get a huge chunk out of China, it's still worth it.
Yeah, you guys talked a lot about China and the mobile game industry, and kind of shitting on Blizzard, and mostly you're gonna think that they're gonna play, or like you say that it's designed in China to go to China. Basically, that's the main point.
More specifically, it should be, not to interrupt you, but I think more specifically we should say Asia or I guess more generally, because Japan also has a massive, massive mobile market.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys looked it up, but have you seen the cinematic trailer for the game?
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
I think it looks super cool.
Have you seen gameplay of the game?
Yeah, and that looks bad.
I don't now graphically. I don't know about the gameplay, like the actual gameplay. Graphically, I think it looks solid. Like if they were to just show me the footage of the gameplay and not like any of the UI or anything, I'd be like, "Oh, sick! A new Diablo," because it actually looks pretty decent from that standpoint.
Yeah, but it's still. I feel like they tried their damnness to make it sell well in North America and Europe, because apparently the story is like untold story between Diablo 2 and 3, like what happened between there. And I think that most gamers would like, if it would be on PC, they would be like, yeah, this is the greatest thing ever. I get to see what happened in that time. And I feel like that is definitely targeted for NA and EU people who played Diablo 2 and 3, and not necessarily like Asia side. But I feel like if they would have just taken the story and put it on like a PC game, they would have like made great success too. But this is the case they wanted to do. If I would have been Blizzard, I would have chosen a different story for it, like a side story, not necessarily like still being Diablo, but not in that story. It should be like a side story that has its own world.
See, they fucked up when they hyped up the thing. They fucked up when they announced the mobile game and not a remaster 1 and 2, or announce Diablo 4 or any content for Diablo 3. They fucked up because they had the Diablo panel and they announced the Diablo mobile game to a audience of hardcore PC gamers.
Yeah, but they sort of expected to people reacting like, that's a great game I can play on my phone. But that's not the case.
Yeah. Well, that's the point.
You guys don't have phones?
They didn't understand their audience.
Don't you guys have phones?
I don't. I think I think the biggest, like, not necessarily insult, but like the biggest complaint about all of that is that they felt that a mobile game was big enough to take up the main stage. I feel like that's almost an insult. Yeah. Like if they had made like a main stage Diablo announcement, and I do notice my thing color correcting all the time now. I didn't notice it before. Sorry.
It's okay.
But if they had like taken like the Diablo stage and then like even just barely teased new content or something for main Diablo, and then been like, oh, by the way, here's filler for after Lord of Destruction, but before Diablo 3 to whet your appetite. And I think it would have been a million times better if they just teased more main Diablo stuff and then said, oh, also by the way.
Like go the Bethesda route. I'm gonna shit on Bethesda a little bit later, but right now I'm gonna praise Bethesda. Like Bethesda announced Elder Scrolls Blades, a mobile game, and in the same press conference they literally just showed the title of Elder Scrolls 6, and nobody hated the mobile game.
Yeah.
See, but that's what I mean when I introed the Diablo thing, is that they completely misread their audience. They had no idea what their audience wants, which is a little bit concerning coming from Blizzard, who has made PC games for 2 decades. And then they decide the best course of action is to announce only this mobile game to a audience made 100% of PC gamers. It's a little bit odd. But I know there's some Activision executive somewhere on top is like, we're gonna announce this shit here on the stage and you can't say nothing to it. And then they put the poor developer on stage and like, oh, don't you have phones? Yeah. I feel sorry for the guy.
I feel like they thought that people who play their games are like loyal to the the company.
They will suck this up and they will play that game.
Yeah, but still, but people are more loyal to PC than the company.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I love Diablo. Yeah. Like, I've played all of them for, I don't know how many hours in Diablo 3. And, when they announced the mobile game, I was just like, what the hell is this shit? I had no interest at all. Even though I'm a big fan of the series, I don't really care that it's just Blizzard put it out, so I'm going to get it. I was just like, this isn't what I want at all.
I mean, I'm not going to, I don't play with my phone anyway. Anything. I'm not gonna get the game, and I know at this point when it actually launches, there's gonna be a dedicated group of people who are gonna shit on the game anyway, no matter how good it is. So and they're gonna completely bombard this shit, and then there's gonna be the actual games journalists who are gonna take a look at this and try to be objective. And I think the verdict, if it doesn't have microtransactions on release, they probably will give it a pass, because like you guys said, the opening cinematic looks good to the game, what they've shown so far, and the gameplay, I've seen it too, and it looks good. It doesn't look like a mobile game from 2003. So I mean, it'll probably get a pass. But
yeah, I've heard like other YouTubers and stuff. They even said that when they watched that there were actual mechanics in the that they could tell that were in the game that they wish were in the actual main game. So I think as a game itself, it may not be that bad, but it's just not what we want.
Oh yeah. I mean, and that's ultimately where it's gonna die here in the West. I will keep my opinion on that the game is made for the Chinese audience, because it's the untapped market. It's where every game developer wants to go. A lot of game companies are shipping their games now to China. Like I saw recently as yesterday, 20 online games were sent for review for the Chinese something board that gives the go ahead for the games, and 9 were flat out banned, and 11 were some changes need to be made. And Fortnite was one of those games that did not get into China because it has blood and gore.
It is a bloody, gory game.
It is. It completely is.
I think the another big issue with that is like they're wanting to fill in more story after Lord of Destruction, and I don't necessarily know that Diablo 2 was bigger than how like the player base size compares between 2 and 3, but I know 2 was considerably more popular than 1. So for people to have to play a mobile game to get more story expanded on Diablo 2 kind of sucks.
It's a bold move.
Definitely.
It's a A very bold move from Blizzard or Activision. I don't know who forced somebody to make this mobile game. Probably Activision.
Yeah.
Anywho, Sony is ditching E3. Well, not yet, Gradigan, not yet.
Come on.
Hold
your horses.
Sony ditching E3, I thought was going to be like a sign, like an end of an era with E3, because I really enjoy E3. I watch, like, whenever it starts, I tell my coworkers I'm going to be super unproductive this week because I'm just going to do busy work so that I can watch this stream. And they're like, yeah, whatever. But then as soon as they announced it, Nintendo was like, hey, we're going to be there and we're still going to be badass. And Microsoft was like, us too. Yeah. They just high-fived. And I was like, oh, cool, sick.
See, I had the same kind of thought that Sony will be like the first one to quit, and Microsoft soon after that. And I'm happy that E3 is not over. But since Sony is not with us anymore, and like rip Sony, I guess, it's sad because I really enjoy Sony games. I think Sony has been killing it the past few years, and I think they will keep on. Like the reason for them not going in the first place is as they stated, they don't have any content to show. Just like kind of like really you don't fucking work on anything. I mean,
think that
they do.
If they would have gone there, they would have just shown like Death Stranding and Last of Us 2.
I mean, that would have happened. I mean, they would have probably been shit on for showing the same shit as last year. So they chose to not go on that sinking ship. I mean, they did cancel this year's PlayStation Experience, but they said that they're gonna have one next year instead of the E3 thing. So what I'm assuming because I speculated before Sony announced that they're not gonna go. I speculated that they're gonna unveil the PS5 next year's E3, which obviously is not gonna happen now. So I'm switching it to PlayStation Experience in December. So 1 year from now, pretty close, we're gonna look at the first images of the PS5 and all the specs, and the console wars will once again rise. And I'll be laughing with my PC.
I do think it's interesting that they're skipping it potentially because of lack of content, because they kind of blew their load last year.
I mean,
they
did.
Rather.
I mean, yeah, this year. I mean,
because between like Marvel Spider-Man and God of War, like those are two exclusive games that are basically those are console sellers.
What about Red Dead? What about Red Dead, man?
Well, Red Dead's not a Sony exclusive.
Red Dead's not Game of the Year.
Red Dead's not Game of the Year. Thank you, Trevor.
Red Dead is going to be on Steam.
But I think that's basically why, because they like you said, was it really 7 years for God of War's development?
Oh, like something ridiculous like that.
Yeah,
like so a very long time though.
They may have basically put all their eggs in just a couple baskets, and now they don't have anything up to the point that they could even show that they haven't already shown.
Yeah, I mean, but so here's the question though: what is Sony gonna release next year?
God of War DLC.
Oh, okay.
What about when is The Last of Us 2 coming out?
See, it doesn't have a release date.
And then, well, like you already said, Death Stranding.
And that doesn't have a release date either. Ghost of Tsushima doesn't have a release date. And, yeah.
If they weren't fools and let Microsoft pry Kingdom Hearts from their cold, dead fingers, they could have that. But no, they just got to have that on both consoles, too.
So, chat is saying that Sekiro is coming out, but Sekiro comes out before E3.
That's true. But does it come out early enough before E3 that they could have shown like DLC and additional
comes
content?
Out in March.
Because they had...
Comes out in March,
So
and
July?
the E3 is in July, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So I mean,
who's gonna fill the spot for Sony?
Nobody.
Well,
or maybe. This is wild speculation.
Yeah.
From the ashes, from the deepest depths of hell, the one company is gonna make a return that nobody expects.
Atari.
No, not Atari.
Dang it.
they're gonna come up and nobody's gonna expect it, and then it's gonna be Konami.
Oh, gosh.
And pachinko machines will rain down from the sky and crush the audience. And Konami's gonna be like, "Why don't you play pachinko machines, bitches?"
You can play them online.
So does anyone remember that Atari? And I almost thought it was a fever dream because Atari announced like a console like last year, wasn't it?
Wait. Now that you say that,
No.
I had to Google it.
I put Atari console. The first one is the Atari 2600, and I'm like, no, this is not it.
But I just remember them announcing it, and then it just didn't. Nothing happened.
Wait. Atari VCS, codename Atari Box, is an upcoming video game console produced by Atari. The system was revealed in 2017, and pre-orders began this year in May 2018. It's coming out in July next year.
Dang. That's who needs to take that spot, boys. Free open spot.
So so there's some versions here. The Onyx version is $200, the collector's edition is $300, and the tribute edition is $400. I don't know what this is.
No one does. It's an enigma. It's if there isn't an ET game on it though, I'm not buying. I better have a game.
The OG ET game?
Well, basically just a new version of it with the same gameplay.
The one that almost crashed the entire industry?
Yeah, that they buried in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, somewhere. I mean, I'm rooting for that game.
Maybe the Soulja Boy is gonna show the new console on E3.
Oh shit! Did you? So just to ask, does everybody know what North is referencing? So Soulja Boy, the rapper from like 10 years ago, has a console that he's selling that is certainly not legal.
And a handheld console.
So there's a handheld and then an actual console, and they have like thousands of games on them, licensed games.
What's it called?
Soulja Watch.
No, that's the watch, man. That's the actual watch. You gotta find the console.
So it's like Soulja console.
It's called Soulja Game.
Oh yeah,
it's Soulja. It looks like a Switch, but except it doesn't come apart. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just link this in chat.
Yeah, do that.
And there's the other console. That's probably the handheld that you showed.
Yeah, that is the Soulja Game handheld. If you Google Soulja, the first thing that come up is Soulja Boy game console. So it's not hard to find.
And the Soulja Watch looks like it looks like
So Chad is mentioning that this is a product sold in China, which that's what I also, when I did a little reading on this. So you can buy it, and you buy it from China, which is probably why
it's probably made in China.
Probably yeah. Which is probably how they circumvent the massive, copyright kind of thing, right? Yeah. Because no way in hell does he have licenses for all those games.
It's sold out. Wait, no, it's on sale.
Of course,
even better.
Even better.
No, it is sold out. Of course, they would put it on sale whenever it's sold out. You sons of bitches. Oh, but the main one's not. It's just the handheld. The one that looks like someone spray painted an Xbox One and then used a PS2 controller. Oh my God, this is straight up a PS2 controller. I just posted it in the Discord. Look at that.
Oh, post it in the chat too.
Yeah, that's definitely.
That is straight up a PS2 controller.
Yeah.
No, it has an A button and a B button.
I like that. I like that says C and D, but the actual controller is X and Y. That little picture says A, B, C, and D, but there's a picture of the actual controller and it says X and Y. It's the exact same button layout.
This is amazing. This is goddamn amazing.
It gets
and we're going off topic.
This is on topic. This is hard hitting gaming.
This is the topic.
2018 most important console.
I mean, it probably is.
We can stop talking about Soulja Boy now.
That was Soulja Boy's consoles. Everybody, you can pick them up at
China.
SouljaWatch.com.
SouljaWatch.com.
Hashtag sponsored. So dumb.
Oh man.
Oh god.
I kind of want one. Before we switch topics,
kind of want one too.
If this goes on sale, it'll be tough not to buy it. If I could get this for $100, I'd be hard pressed not to buy it.
What games are on it again?
It's an emulator player.
Okay.
It has a few thousand. It has a few.
But
thousand
what?
Games.
What?
I don't think there's a list of it though. It's just a few thousand games.
It says Soulja Boy claims that the console is capable of running PlayStation, Neo Geo. I know you've been looking for that, North. You love Neo Geo games. PC, Sega, Game Boy Advance, and the NES games, as well as Soulja games.
Oh shit, he has his own games?
I guess. The website states that the console comes with 800 pre-installed games.
Oh, 800, okay.
Yeah, but the other one has like thousands.
Yeah, I think the handheld one has like some 4,000.
The handheld one has 3,000. What 3, sense does that make?
No sense.
Let's stop talking about Soulja Boy. Let's talk about something else. This is disappointing.
See, KO's saying that if you buy the console directly, you can get it for $100. So you drop Soulja as a middleman. We're still talking about Soulja Boy.
Now we're talking about
topic. I got to ruin the podcast and go to the bathroom. So
okay.
Well, you do that.
We'll continue talking about Soulja Boy.
He also has a phone. Maybe he will tap that mobile game market.
I mean, I'd buy a Soulja phone and a Soulja watch.
It looks very futuristic.
So I'm on AliExpress because I really wanted it. This is the first time I've been there. This is just knockoff city. Population me.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's Ali.
It's $35 on AliExpress. Cowshay, can you link? I'll buy it right now. If the Soulja game is $35, I will buy it right now. And I will play it on stream as soon as it gets here in 6 months.
Do it. I'll fucking donate the 35 to you, man. I'll donate that shit in bits and you'll play it. You'll play it and you'll be happy.
Dude, I'll love it. I mean, all 800 of those games, it's emulated. But
I don't know how the fuck do you put 800 games on a...
How do you put 800 games on a console and then 3 times that on a handheld? What sense does that even make?
I'm
not gonna say it's scam, but it sounds like scam.
It's 100% a scam. I will
definitely. I mean, so just to be like clear to chat, don't buy this, please. Save your money.
I will buy it.
Don't buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we all bought it. We all bought it, Trevor.
According to someone in chat, Trevor, it's $35 on AliExpress. As soon as I get a link, I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna play it on stream.
I wonder what PC games it can play.
I don't know, probably something from the 90s or 80s.
What ultra large capacity, support TF card max to 32 gigs. Ultra large. What?
All right, what kind of link is that? What the hell?
Yeah, Empire, your link is so fucked up. I'm not gonna click that.
I'm clicking it.
You can click it.
If that's what's standing between me and Valhalla, that's not $35. That's $51.82.
That's still not too bad.
No, it's not. But it's no 35. And I actually. Okay.
Okay. Shall we now move on?
Yeah, let's move on. Not that.
We have discussed Soldier Boy and his consoles.
The main topic for that was Sony not being there. It sucks.
Yeah, Sony is not on E3 2019. It sucks, but hopefully we'll get to see something from Sony during PlayStation Experience next year.
Yeah.
I would rather. The last thing I'll say about it before someone else can, and we eventually move on. I would rather them not go to E3 because they don't have anything to show than not go to E3 because they want to start their own E3.
I have a speculation for that. Maybe they designed a mobile game and they saw like, holy shit, we can't release this anywhere. We're not going anywhere. Back to square one.
Before we move, I probably should have said this earlier, but before we got on Soldier Boy, but I read something that they've said that Sony was putting a lot of money into just the showcasing of their games, and it was costing them a shit ton to like build these sets and all this stuff, and having to rent it out for E3. And I heard that could also be a factor in why they're like going to just possibly do their own thing and build their own, like, so they can build their own sets on the budget kind of thing.
I mean, it might be. I don't know.
That's just speculation, but I read that somewhere that someone was saying that.
Because I do trust Sony. I believe them when they say that they don't have anything to show for E3. I do believe them because, I mean, there's no rumors of games. There's really nothing. Like The Last of Us doesn't have a release date. Death Stranding doesn't have a release date. Ghost of Tsushima comes out, I don't know, probably maybe next year, maybe the year after that. It doesn't have a release date or something. So what else is there? There really isn't anything.
And even if they showed those games again and gave a release date, I still think a lot of people would still be pissed off. Just definitely. Because it's they're seeing that, even though they're getting a release date, obviously they're just seeing the same thing they've already seen. Yeah. So
I mean, then again, Last of Us could probably save the entire thing.
It would be nice if instead of not going, if it was for the reason Trevor said, it would be nice instead of not going at all, they did more of a Nintendo type situation where Nintendo doesn't really have like a live E3 press conference. They just show a Nintendo Direct and then have their Treehouse afterwards. So maybe if it is that thing that they're just trying to save money, it would be nice to maybe see that change in the future, like after this year, or maybe they have like a pre-recorded thing and then kind of like a Q&A type thing like Nintendo's Treehouse.
Yeah, but hopefully they'll be hopefully their PlayStation Experience next year will be a huge one. I'm really hoping for the PS5 announcement, and I'm really hoping for because I do believe that when they announce the PS5. They are probably going to announce some major game with the PS5, and I think that game will be The Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Okay, dudes.
Is it now the time?
Are we talking about the thing?
We're talking about the thing?
Because we kind of covered that one topic in Diablo Immortal.
Yeah, technically.
Really talk about it too much.
If we're not gonna go through the mobile games again, I still have something for that.
Shit,
that's okay.
Well, shit, go for it.
What?
Yeah, I read somewhere that this year the mobile games generated like 50% of all. That from all the games, all the money, like 70 billion revenue or something like that, like something huge
Even more reason to make Diablo Immortal. And even more reason to take other well-known franchises and have low development costs and make more mobile games.
Yeah, and apparently mobile game industry has been growing by double digits every year since 2007. And it's not stopping.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, is this what it's gonna be? Like I didn't know that. I know that mobile game industry is huge, but not that huge that it's gonna take 50% of everything. It sounds like I don't even know anyone who plays mobile games.
It's
like,
because
why?
You're not the one playing, and I'm not the one playing, and Trevor's not the one playing, and Joe is not the one playing, and the people in chat are not the one playing. The people who play mobile games are not gamers. They're the casual folk who don't care about E3 or AAA games or consoles or PC games. They're the ones playing the mobile games.
It's the mother I see driving down the highway playing Candy Crush.
Exactly.
And now what they've done, and it's kind of genius what they've done by getting like the mom driving down the road playing Candy Crush. They're able to nickel and dime people who would normally never spend any money on a video game. Well, now that 40-year-old woman playing Candy Crush, that's only $2. It's only $2, and she it's only $2 herself all the way to who knows how much money over the year. So normally they wouldn't get anything, but now they've gotten $2 from this lady 20 times in a year.
Yeah, they know exactly what they're doing. They have people that are trained specifically on how to give you just enough. Because if you ever play a mobile game, what they'll do is like they'll say, "Oh, well, here's a free." I'm just gonna say crate, but they'll be like, "Here's a free crate. Here's a free crate," and look all this cool shit you got. And then after we play a little bit, you're like, "Oh shit, I need another crate to advance a little bit more, or I gotta wait." 8 hours. So they're like, well, it's only 50 cents. So, I'll buy that. And then they know exactly what they're doing to give you just enough to make you want to buy just a little bit more, advance a little bit more. And then, I got to buy a little bit more. But they have people trained specifically just to know how people think and how to basically fuck them over.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, I do think that mobile game industry will keep on rising, and it will keep on generating more money, and that's the key thing that will motivate companies to make more mobile games. As long as they can maximize profits, they will keep making mobile games.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's because that's the thing is like not everybody has a PC, not everybody has a PS4 or an Xbox. Almost everybody has a smartphone.
Oh yeah.
So everyone
it's a huge
has
market, or a huge potential market.
Yeah, and even for people that don't spend any money, that's good if you can avoid the temptation. If you get into it, if you can avoid the temptation and not spend any money on it, you're still giving them your time, and that pays out in ads. So they're still making money off of every person who doesn't pay for their microtransactions. They're still making money off.
Oh yeah.
Excuse me. So it's like I said, it's kind of genius.
Since we're back on mobile games for a minute, I'm gonna go ahead and call it best mobile game 2019, Diablo Immortal.
Second.
I hope it's good, honestly. Like, I know we just spent like 30 minutes shit talking it, but I hope it's good.
Yeah, I feel like the story is so good that it will make it there. Yeah. But I'm not sure if it's gonna attract that 40-year-old.
Yeah.
To pay 50 cents to advance in the game. It's definitely for like a specific group of mobile gamers, which is not the best strategy.
Yeah. Oh, it's.
All right.
I think people will play it.
People will definitely play it because it's.
Oh yeah,
Diablo.
As long as it's free, I think that the only way that they could completely tank it is putting any kind of price tag on it. Even if it's like $5, I think putting any kind of price tag on it will tank it.
Yeah,
I think it will cost money. I don't think it will be free to play, but we'll see when it comes out.
Let's see.
Okay, dudes. Is it now time?
I hope it is.
Yep.
So to start off, I have not played Fallout 76. So I will not
play Fallout 76.
I will not talk about the gameplay of Fallout 76 and my opinions on the gameplay because I cannot have opinions on the gameplay. You guys have to keep me in check. Second, we have two people here who have played Fallout 76. And Gradigi is the one who is in a very, very unique position. Because Gradigi has never played a Fallout game before Fallout 76. And Gradigi has only played Skyrim before this. That's the only Bethesda experience Gradigi has. Now Trevor has played the previous Fallout games. But
I played Fallout 3 and Fallout 4.
Before I completely shit on this.
Don't shit on Fallout, dude.
Please, Gradigi and Trevor, tell us all about the game and how you feel about the game.
Go ahead, Trevor.
Let's go.
Okay, so I think there's a couple of different aspects with the game and like what you can judge them on. Obviously, the game itself is, to me, a completely different thing to judge than how they treated fans and, you know, the whole bag situation. Because in my mind, I'm looking at those as two separate entities. So first off, I'll just go with the bag things and all that stuff and how they treated the gamers was totally wrong, and they should not have done what they did. You know, trying to offer people $5 in game, and I don't even think you could buy a bag in the game with that. And and I think it took
the mail carrier skin comes with that bag, and you can't buy it with $5.
Yeah, and it took like legal action for them to actually, you know, make things right, I guess you would say. So with that, I would say 100%, you know, just no question they're in the wrong. The game itself, I can only speak for what I have experienced with the game, because I actually had to YouTube like Fallout 76 glitches and problems, because I personally haven't seen really any problems with the game that other people have seen. So like, you know, I was seeing things of like, you know, people just falling through the maps and like people turning into what look like fucking swamp monster weird creatures and shit. None of that's ever happened to me in the game. I've probably put in over 50 hours in the game and not a single thing like that has happened to me. So game wise, glitch wise, I'm perfectly fine with it. Like I can't, you know, say anything about that. What about you, Grad? You got anything?
And we discussed this a little bit before, but the only glitches I experienced were both quest related glitches. They weren't game breaking glitches, and because the game and its questing system is so open, I was just like, I'll come back to it later. And by the time I went back to it, the glitches were fixed. So there was basically 2 quest objectives that were unreachable for 2 different reasons. And I ran into those on like launch day. And by Monday, both of those glitches were specifically addressed and fixed. So, like, unless you went the same specific route I did, which you don't have to. I mean, you guys know Fallout games, and this is no different. You can go in any number of different directions from the beginning. So unless you went the same route that I did and got to those 2 spots in between Friday and Monday, those 2 glitches were handled before you even got there. But as far as gameplay glitches, I haven't had any. The only things that that have affected other people that I do know are already being addressed. Like one of them is if you have a base somewhere and you load into a world and there's a base that occupies the same spot, it just erases your base. Like you don't get the chance to move it or relocate it or anything like that. However much you built there was gone. But now I think starting today, I think the update came out today, where if you load into a world and there's a space, there's already a base in your base space. Sure. It'll just tell you before you load into it. And it's like, hey, do you want to move your base or do you want to just go to a different server? So that's the only, and that didn't even happen to me. It happened to a friend. So I haven't had any kind of, as far as gameplay issues at all. I've had problems.
Yeah. There's a couple other things that, like, I don't think it's fair to compare this game with Fallout 4 and Fallout 3. Just because it plays similar, but it's a completely different game. It's an online game, which the other ones are not. And I think that, even when he came out and gave Todd Howard gave his speech, he even said, like, we're new to this. He's like, it's probably gonna be fucked up, which it was apparently to a lot of people. And I just think that when I saw the game, like, I didn't expect it to play exactly like Fallout 3 or Fallout 4 or whatever, or New Vegas. I expected it to probably play like it plays. And I think that's why one reason I'm not like super pissed off about it is because I'm not experiencing glitches like other people are. And I didn't have this like overhyped version of it in my head that I was like, oh, this is going to be fucking just like, New Vegas or Fallout 4 or whatever. I was like, this is probably going to be something that's kind of buggy and, has problems, but hopefully, they'll get to it and fix it or whatnot. I will say, like, with the gameplay, one thing that I think needs to be fixed, at least from what I've seen, is like the AI in the game's pretty fucking stupid. They kind of just stand there. So like there's obviously it has problems that needs to be fixed. Like there was one thing they did fix was the loot box, or not loot box, the stash. You could barely put anything in it and then it just fill up. And this, in that game, the whole thing is one of the whole points of the game is scavenging and collecting shit and getting shit and stuff. And like they barely gave you any fucking room to do that. So it was kind of one of those things where you're dropping half the shit that you even collected just to walk. But yeah, I mean, overall, I don't give it a 10 out of 10 or anything, but I was not disappointed with the game.
Yeah, I don't think it's spectacular by any stretch of the imagination, but I think, there's been other game series like this that have made a game outside of their genre. And I don't think we should necessarily punish. And before I keep going, like Trevor said at the beginning, all the stuff that they did with the bag and how they treated fans and stuff is garbage. But I don't think that a game should be immediately hated on just because it is a different genre than what they normally produce. Because if that's kind of how people start acting whenever it's not exactly then there's a lot of games that would have never been. Like one of my favorite games of all time is Super Mario RPG, and it was a turn-based RPG set in the Super Mario world. And it's because that game was so popular, now they've had 5 Paper Marios, which the original Japanese name for the first one was Super Mario RPG 2. Also had the Superstar games. So there's like 5 of those as well. So there's 10 games, 10 really successful games that all came out because one day Nintendo was like, what if we made Mario but Final Fantasy? And that kind of stuff could happen anytime a game company decides to branch out. And I'm sure that there are instances where it's happened, but I can't think of any where this new genre that a game series has kind of explored into has ended up being more popular than the genre that it originally was. So even though it isn't exactly like Fallout, I went into it expecting a survival game. I wasn't expecting some in-depth RPG with crazy plot twists and amazing, compelling story. Even though there is some of it, I think the holotapes in it are really, really cool.
I wanted to touch on that too. Is like a lot of people were complaining about like there's no NPCs in the game really. Well, there's no human NPCs because there's still NPCs in the game. They're just robots, or and the thing, like, I understand, like, it kind of gets rid of that just being, like involved with the game kind of thing. But when you're, to me, I say I'm either listening, I'm either standing there listening to a woman talk to me or a guy talk to me. I don't want to sound like I'm being sexist there.
A person.
I'm just standing there watching a person talk to me, or I can just pick up a holotape and still have them talk to me, but just be on my way and start doing whatever I want to do. And instead of just standing there.
Yeah.
So like the whole NPC thing didn't really bother me that much. In fact, it just, to me, I was like, oh, this is just a fast track way to do things.
Yeah. I agree. The NPC thing, I think, is probably the weakest argument for it. And I don't know a ton about the Fallout lore, but from what I understand, 76 was one of the first vaults opened. So it makes sense for there not to be that many people around. So that's kind of how I've rationalized it. And I might be wrong. I or whatever, at least the beginnings of that would have already been around in some other factions. And the way I've rationalized it is a bunch of nukes just went off, or not just, but they went off, and people are just now starting to come out of their hidey holes. So the way I'm seeing it is your character is kind of the ancestor to the NPCs that you do see in later installments. So, okay, guys. And let me, before you start this rant, Tomo, I see you winding up. I'm gonna address what Sully said real briefly. I'm not gonna, because I know you're about to go on a big old rant. I can taste it. I do think there is a problem with them releasing a broken game, but they are being extremely transparent. Like 2 or 3 weeks ago, they already listed all the bugs they found, or all the bugs that have been reported, not all obviously, but a bunch of the bugs and a bunch of the complaints that have been reported. And they've already taken measures to fix that. Like one of the complaints that Trevor said, that you had a really small stash, that's already being fixed. Last patch, it was upgraded from a 400 size to 600, and they said that if the servers are able to handle that without too much more stress on the servers, then they'll increase it again. So they are already addressing all the things that are kind of messed up, and it's definitely not okay for AAA companies to release broken games. And I'd say in my mind, I'm probably lumping it in with like a lot of those early access games that you just expect to be shit whenever they first come out. That's probably why I'm not as mad about it, because 7 Days is still super buggy. Ark is still super buggy. So I'm probably subconsciously just lumping all of those together and just kind of expecting bugs. Go ahead, Tumalo. Go get some water, you maybe, before you start. Get a little swig.
I cannot believe that Fallout 76 is such a huge dumpster fire that the dumpster fire is on fire. It's a fire on top of a fire. Honestly, I'm not going to talk about gameplay because I have not played the game, but what I've seen, it pretty much looks and feels like, or it seems like it feels like previous Fallout games. On what Trevor touched is about like when people compare it to Fallout 4, it uses the same assets as Fallout 4. This is not an opinion. This is what people have uncovered in the game code. It is literally using the same assets as in Fallout 4. Now, I think a lot of people are angry at the game because Bethesda was the worst fucking marketer of this game. I don't think Bethesda knew what the game was before it even released, because nobody fucking knew what this game was before it came out. I mean, even during the beta, which don't call it a beta if you're gonna release the game 2 weeks after your beta.
And I don't think they made any changes, did they?
I mean, no, it was a stress test for the servers.
Yeah.
But calling it a beta, and like people, like the idiots on Reddit who are like, oh, don't worry, it's gonna be fixed before release. Go fucking, Jesus Christ, you don't know nothing. I mean, okay, so the bag controversy is, you can't say anything about it. They committed a crime. They committed false advertising. And I can't believe, I still don't believe it's a legit comment that Bethesda made when they responded to a customer saying that we ran out of material and we're not going to fix it. I mean, I cannot believe it's a legit Bethesda comment.
When they said that, were they implying that some people actually got a canvas bag?
I think they said that it was too expensive to produce, not that they ran out of material.
Yeah, too expensive to produce, yeah. Now, keep in mind, at the same time, they gave a canvas bag for free to press people and influencers.
Yeah.
So, in my mind, you cannot have any sort of opinion on the bag thing. They committed a crime, which is false advertising, and it's a goddamn slap in the face to say that, oh, we're gonna fix this by giving you 500 Atom points, which is like $5, and like you said, you couldn't even buy the fucking outfit. Like who the like it blows my mind that these decisions that they have made went probably through multiple people, and no one in that chain is like stopping. This is probably a bad idea, so they still go through with it. It's mind-boggling. Now, on the patch notes and transparency, I want to touch upon a little bit. They have deliberately hidden changes in the patch notes that, again, modders have found that they've made changes to the game that they have not told the community, like make the game grindier. Now, some people like grind. I personally don't, but whatever.
Whenever you say grindier, do you mean the decrease on XP?
I assume it's the XP that they talked about.
They were actually open about that. That was announced in the patch notes before.
But some other patch notes were hidden that modders found. Now, on the topic on the storage case, like Trevor said, this is a game that you gather shit all the time. So here's a wild idea. Why have storage space if you're supposed to gather everything? I mean, I get that you have some sort of storage space, but the ridiculous amount it was 400. I still think it's ridiculously low at 600, because you're supposed to gather shit. It's a gathering game, right? So why do you limit people on the activity you're supposed to do? It's mind-boggling. Now, with the glitches and stuff, I mean, it's great if you don't have any glitches. It's honestly, if your game experience is without glitches and bugs, then more power to you.
Yeah, but I can honestly say if I experienced what I saw in YouTube videos of people experiencing, I'd probably be with you and being like, oh, this game fucking sucks. I don't like this game. Why the hell did I buy it? But I just can't do that because that didn't happen to me.
Oh, no, that's fine. That's totally fine.
Did you guys hear about the bug with the freeze ray gun? That there's like a chrono gun that they had to patch because on NPCs it was supposed to freeze them for like 2 hours, but it was only supposed to do a bit, like 30 seconds or something at most for a player character, and it was freezing player characters for 2 hours.
Oh damn!
Yeah.
Now apparently it's like exclusively a super high level gun, so it didn't happen to a ton of people. I still think it's hilarious.
I mean, it's hilarious indeed. I mean, it's hilarious. And
is it my turn?
Wait.
Oh, there's more.
Wait. So, I do want to call out Bethesda on and this is, again, it's not really gameplay wise, but decisions that they've made. The quote unquote final boss in Fallout 76 is a reused asset of the dragons in Skyrim, which is unfucking believable. But I mean, and to be that fucking lazy is just, again, it's astounding to me. I don't understand the thought process they have gone through. So, like, all in all, I think, well, one, the game came out way too early. Like, what Sully said, that we should we accept games being that buggy and broken on release? No, we should definitely not. You should not buy the game if it's that buggy and broken. But Trevor, again, it's good for you that you did not have problems. But a ton of people did have problems, and they are addressing these problems, which tells me that there are problems. The game was not ready to be shipped. It was full and riddled with bugs and glitches. Game-breaking bugs and glitches. Quest-breaking bugs and glitches. Did anybody fucking playtest this thing? And I get that the funny joke is that, oh, it's a Bethesda game, it's always broken. But the modders fix it. They're not allowing modders to fix this game right now. So modders can't even fucking fix their game. So if nobody outside of Bethesda is gonna fix it, Bethesda needs to fucking fix it. And it's so clear to me, because every game release they release is so fucking broken that they literally cannot make a game without bugs and glitches. And nobody obviously can, but this amount of bugs and glitches, and it's like, oh, it crashes 11 times per session. It's okay. Well, the modders fix it. Oh. So,
yeah, I would say with the crashing, I think my game would probably, that is one thing that was, it wasn't like a big problem. It was just annoying, I guess you would say, because it would probably crash. The server would crash probably once every 4-5 hours. Which, like, that's not, game breaking or anything. And when it did crash, it just sends you right back to the title screen. Just hit start game, and you start right back where you were. It takes like 30 seconds out. But it's still something that they were like, oh, we got dedicated servers to this 100% of the time, kind of thing.
Yeah, I just think, like, all in all, like, everything that has happened with Fallout 76, it is downright an embarrassment for Bethesda. They need to not release a game when it's not ready to be released. They need to do that. And they need to fucking get rid of the game engine they're using, because it clearly doesn't work. Like, for the love of God, there's better game engines out there. And I understand that Todd Howard wants to use their game engine because they've used the same game engine for, I don't know, 60 million years at this point. But so fucking use it then. But you will reap what you sow. So all in all, I think Bethesda's latest game is a complete fucking commercial and so, like, failure. It's a complete failure. It didn't take a week, and the game was already like 50% off.
That's actually the biggest thing I'm pissed about, was that I bought it day one, so I paid $60. A week later, it's $35.
See, that's it's an insult, right?
Yeah.
You bought full price on this broken piece of shit, and then a week later, it's half off. You could have waited a week, and after that, like KO said, the first patches were like 50 gigabytes, so you could have bought a barely patched game with a few fucking 100 gigabytes of patches. I mean, all in all, in the end, if Bethesda wants to release broken games, they can do it, but apparently it doesn't.
What do you think, North?
Yeah, I'm just waiting that you guys wrap up.
Go ahead, North.
So,
Don't worry, man.
Is it my turn now?
Well, just hold.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, and okay, this is closing. So, Fallout is out. It is a commercial failure, and that is the only thing that Bethesda probably cares about, or at least ZeniMax. So I'm legitimately interested in seeing what will happen to Starfield, because people will remember this. This is the only thing they will remember when Starfield comes out, that the last game was a broken piece of shit that everybody hated, except the small group of people and Trevor. So
I didn't either.
And I mean, so maybe Starfield will fail because of it. Probably not, because it's going to be a single player game, and that's what people want from Bethesda apparently. And maybe Fallout 76 is great in a year once they fix the goddamn thing, and once they let modders fix it.
If it has the same kind of turnaround in quality as No Man's Sky did, I think it'll probably be a decent game eventually. Unfortunately, the fact that the word eventually is involved is a damn shame.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's no secret that investors, especially, they look at the initial game sales, the first weekend kind of deal, like with movies. And I think it's the most damning evidence that this is a commercial failure is the fact that it went half off after a week of release.
Now, I'm not 100% sure that wasn't planned from the beginning, because a guy that I work actually said he heard a rumor that it was going to be on sale Black Friday for $35, like 2 weeks before the game came out. So that price drop may have actually been planned from the beginning.
It's a big price drop.
Yeah.
It's a bold move, I think.
Maybe they knew they were releasing a piece of shit.
Maybe. They're like, who cares? I mean, but look at those fat American idiots over there to buy it.
But that's the joke, right? But like Todd Howard said on stage, like Trevor said, that he said that they're making an online game and they're probably gonna fail and it's probably gonna be buggy. I read it on the internet, so it must be true. Ha ha ha! Hardy. And everybody in the audience is like, ha ha! That's true. Bethesda games are broken when they come out. Here, take my $60. So it's like, but like I'm actually happy that this time around people are not actively like accepting this, because I think this is an unacceptable thing to happen. To charge people $60 for a broken game, a broken product that doesn't work as intended.
North.
Okay, North.
Finally. First of all, they're not bugs, they're features. And second of all, the bag was just an ad.
Okay.
And yeah, I have a different view for the game. I feel like they wanted to have like an experience creating a multiplayer game, and they knew that Game Awards are coming and they want to still hit it somehow, maybe get it there, but the game was not ready, and I feel like they just wanted to like speed that thing up. They gotta do the beta and see if the servers can handle it, and then release the game. And the fastest way to develop a game or find the bugs or see what's wrong with the game is to release it to thousands of people. They're gonna find it in no time. But the thing is, you still have to fix them. Even if you find them, they probably didn't anticipate the amount of bugs it's gonna have. So they're trying to fix it slowly, but it's gonna take a while. So maybe maybe 2 years before it's actually a like decent game. But by then, they probably have to use a different engine. But it's maybe just a new experience for them. I really don't have an opinion on the actual gameplay. I feel like it's not for me. First of all, I haven't played Fallout. I'm not that interested on them. But like T-posing and rendering issues, and like you said, the chrono gun is definitely something that you want fixed and fast. And hopefully they'll fix it and have it as a good game at some point. But
overall, yeah, go ahead.
Like the bugs they're not that bad as long as they're not like super game breaking. They can be like funny, like weird physics in the game. You step on a landmine, you blow up into pieces, and you I don't know, do a backflip or something like that because of the game physics. But that goes for a bug. You go clip through the wall and suddenly you end up in a whole nother place and you're like, what happened? And it can be a fun experience, but most of the time it's not that. It's something you get stuck inside a wall and you can't move, and you what are you gonna do? You're just gonna stand there, or you're gonna get shot with a chrono gun and you're gonna stand still for 2 hours.
Yeah, for sure.
Ultimately, go ahead. Okay.
I'll tell you that.
Ultimately, even if the game was not broken and in the state that it is, I wouldn't buy the game. Simply because that's not the game I want to play. I don't want to play a survival game. They took, in my mind, the worst aspect of Fallout 4 and put it in Fallout 76, which is the base building. I fucking hated it. It's literally the worst base building kind of thing I ever played in my entire life when I played it in Fallout 4. And they expanded on it. Like, people loved it, and I hated it. I spent like 2 hours trying to make a house, and it was the most excruciating part of Fallout 4. So so it doesn't interest me, and the survival aspect doesn't interest me. I have played survival games, and they're really not my forte anyway. And the PvP aspect is weird. I don't even know if you should even call it PvP, because the other player needs to initiate the PvP, and if they don't initiate the PvP, it's not PvP anymore. Like, Bethesda doesn't even know if they want to make a PvP or not. So it's like, it's weird. It's weird.
The only disagreement I had with what you said, North, was that you said like the canvas bag was just an ad. But I mean, if
obviously a joke, like, though, right? Right, North?
Yeah, it's a joke.
Yeah, it's a joke. It's a joke.
Okay.
Even North understands that what they did was illegal.
Yeah, that's you can't do that.
Because I think that's like that. Whenever I heard, because I'm a collector of things, and if I'm gonna spend $200, I better get it.
Yeah, I mean, not to get the bag when you spend $200, and for them to say that they're not gonna fix it, and then they give you the 500 atoms, is, I mean, it's a lawsuit waiting to be happening. For real, because it is nothing but false advertisement.
But technically, if you accept the 500 atoms, that is like, you can't sue them afterwards.
Yeah, because
you accepted their terms for like making agreement.
Yeah. I feel like even though they're doing the canvas bag thing, between that and the ticket thing, there's going to be a lawsuit. It's a matter of time. But I can almost guarantee that there will.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably a lawsuit, but they're probably going to settle out of court, right?
I wouldn't.
I mean, I feel that this is what's going to like happen, because I think this is what always kind of happens.
I feel like it almost needs to happen, and it's unfortunate that it's a company like Bethesda, depending on how you look at it, but that's not neither here nor there, because game companies need to know that this kind of stuff isn't acceptable. It's not just like, because I remember seeing somewhere where someone went on a forum and posted about it and said that they could see everybody's ticket.
Oh, yeah.
And the only response from an official Bethesda rep was, "Hey guys, bugs fixed. Sorry about that."
Yeah. I mean, okay, I can't believe I forgot about the data leak. So
I forgot about that too.
So the data leak is a massive shitstorm in Europe because of our newly enacted laws this year. I mean, you can't do that. And if it's an accident, the European Union doesn't give a shit. Yeah. They will sue the fuck out of you. Like, Bethesda can potentially be fined millions of dollars because this fuck up is a no-no, a big no-no.
And I mean, it should be, like I said, game companies need to know that. I mean, how does that even happen? Like,
see, I was reading about a lot about this on Reddit, and a lot of people who claim to work in kind of like tech security said that Bethesda probably does not have the customer information themselves. They probably outsourced it to a outside company who handles that, because literally this could happen. And it's the reason they outsource it. So they put the responsibility on somebody else. Well, but on the front end, it looks like it's Bethesda to the consumer.
Well, the thing that I don't even think it was that they got like account details like directly from some kind of data bank. It was that you had to like verify your account in the ticket. You had to put in your proof of purchase, and then something about your address. Or, well, of course, your address, so they mail it to you. So they like specifically asked for these 3 very personal bits of information, and then that's the information that got shot out whenever the tickets were seen by everybody. So it honestly, it could have been way less bad, still unacceptable, but way less bad had they not the bag debacle not happened. Because if they didn't need all that information, it wouldn't have been in the tickets. So the tickets would have just been full of like regular bug reports and things like that instead of receipts, credit card information, home addresses, and names. So it honestly was just like the perfect storm of oops, I fucked up.
Sure did.
God damn it. Shit happens.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, maybe Fallout 76 will be a good game in a year or two. But it's I mean the from start to finish, from the day it was announced, it kind of was a dumpster fire. It was a small dumpster fire at E3. And then the dumpster fire became bigger once the beta was had. Please, game companies. I know everybody's listening to this podcast. Don't call your server tests, stress tests, betas, because it confuses people. Because it's not a beta. You're not gonna fix your game in 2 weeks before launch. It's impossible. Call it a server stress test, not a fucking beta. That's not what a beta is. Jesus fuck.
I think there's a lot of better ways to stress test your servers than saying it's a beta. Come here.
Yeah.
That people paid for, by the way.
Yeah.
I feel like at E3, because they were really cryptic. So I feel like they almost wheeled in the dumpster, and people were like, what could be in that dumpster? It better not be a fire. There better not be a fire in that dumpster. And then they were like, haha, I get it. It's a fire in this dumpster. And then they're like, Todd Howard, you did it again.
Todd! Here, take my $60. Fucking Todd.
Todd Howard. You son of a bitch. Eventually, I think Jeff Kaplan's just going to rip off his mask and it's going to be another Todd Howard.
Okay, dude.
That's all I have to say about that shit show.
That's all I had to say about that shit show, too. We'll maybe revisit Fallout 76 when the game is more playable.
2 years.
Yo, Spacey, you just missed it.
Well, that's what he just tell me why the game is shit. I actually like it. So he's instead of you, Tumalo. You should have been here at the beginning, Spacey. Me and Trevor spent like 15 minutes saying why it's a decent game. It's just a lot of bad circumstances surrounding it. And I feel like that's exactly what it is. Spacey, you got me started again, and it's a good thing. The last thing I'll say about it is if Fallout and Bethesda were not attached to this game and it was $20 less from release, I don't think this would have went anywhere. Yeah. I think if it was a $40 game from some third-party company, I don't think anybody would give 2 shits.
I mean, yeah, they should have certainly marketed truthfully by saying that it's not Bethesda Maryland who has developed this. It's Bethesda Austin, who has never made a game before.
Yeah,
they should have been fucking straightforward, but no, Todd Howard had to fucking market this as the biggest Fallout development ever. We have never had this many people working on our Fallout game. They should have
never had this many dumpster fires in one place.
Yeah. But I mean, the
Where
way
did we even get that many matches?
or dumpsters, for that matter. I mean, I honestly blame Todd Howard for it, because he hyped the game up way too much by saying these things, because it's clearly a huge copy and paste from Fallout 4, and it is primarily developed by Bethesda Austin, who again has never made a game before. They probably got help from Maryland and the other Bethesda subsidiaries, or even like id and whatnot, but it is developed by Bethesda Austin. But they officially say that it's developed by Bethesda GameWorks, which at this stage it doesn't exist anymore in one place. It's all of Bethesda's studios. But I think it should be said that it's Austin that made the game, not Maryland. But thank you, Todd Howard, for misleading everybody. So now everybody's pissed.
Yeah, I feel like Maryland was calling like, "Hey, is the game ready yet?" It's gonna take 2 years. It's ready.
Fuck it.
Put it out.
Fuck it.
And
We
then
gotta,
started developing
we gotta hit those Christmas sales, boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, I didn't even know about the 2 different Bethesda studios. I had no idea.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh shit. Bethesda has 3 studios, I think. I forget what the third one is. But yeah, Maryland is the main studio which makes the single player games. And Austin was founded, I think, last year or the year before that. And they were primarily, before, the people working in Austin were primarily some online guys, I think. So that's why they made an online game. And also, according to modders who have gained access to the game code by hacking the game, it seems that originally, somewhere along the lines of the development, Fallout 76 was supposed to be a co-op game, because there's elements in the code that hint towards a co-op game. But somewhere along the line, they decided to make it a more online game that we have today. I would have way more preferred a co-op experience. I think the game would have been.
You mean? I got you. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Almost like a session-based game where you would join someone else's game. Okay.
Because at release, I still don't know if this is fixed or not, but the net coding was god awful. You could access as a admin to the server, where you could have God mode on yourself, and even erase people from the servers. So I mean, it shows that it's like they didn't really know what they were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like, I don't know if it was supposed to be a two-person co-op experience, but still like a closed session kind of experience. The game code has hints towards a co-op experience now. 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, like whatever. But it is not a co-op game anymore. It's an online game. Whew.
All right.
That was something.
Yeah, that's probably a good place to wrap it up if no one else is opposed to that.
What, Fallout or the entire stream?
Well, I don't know. Well, hang on. Let me look at the thing.
We're like,
I think everything. I don't think we have anything else planned.
We have a little bit.
Yeah, we have 2 major stuff. I mean, yeah, we could actually do this a little bit quicker.
Yeah, it's been 3 hours already.
Yeah. So okay, we're actually gonna skip one thing and move on to what's our favorite games from this year. No need to go in depth on games, but just like what did you guys enjoy?
I have impeccable taste, so my favorite game of the year is actually
God of War.
Yeah, God of War, I think, is probably my favorite game of the year. Spider-Man was really good. It didn't quite draw me in. I think Dead Cells is really good as well, but I'd say overall, my game of the year is definitely God of War.
I would probably have to agree with that. God of War.
2 God of Wars. I'm gonna say Subnautica.
Did that even come out this year?
Yeah, it came out in January, I think.
Nice.
Yeah, the full release of Subnautica came out this year.
Yeah, it's a.
Are you excited about the DLC?
Oh, of course, but I'm not sure how it's gonna play out. Is it gonna be like standalone game or like actual?
Me and Tom were talking about that the other day, and I think he was saying it's supposed to be standalone.
Yeah, if you open up Subnautica right now, it states like it's a standalone DLC.
Yeah. Okay.
I've seen anyway, this on the stream.
Subnautica was like it was so different. Like it's something that I've never experienced before, and I like adventure games, but it had that deep water element that scared the crap out of me. And I'm not good with like scary stuff, and like being 100 meters underwater is super scary. It's and all the sounds there, and
the game is fucking terrifying.
Yeah, the game is terrifying, but it's not like it's not spooky, but it's makes your heart race definitely. And the game doesn't really tell you what you supposed to do. It gives little hints. You should go here, look something at the bottom of the ocean and stuff like that. But it doesn't tell you go this location and you advance in the story. No, it gives you little hints. And I really like that game. Definitely my game of the year.
My game of the year is The Messenger. And I highly recommend The Messenger. It's by far the best soundtrack this year, probably this goddamn decade. It's super good, and The Messenger is it's a really good indie game. But I'm the indie guy, right? I like indies. Celeste was good. I actually finished today, and I had to look this up because I didn't know this game came out this year. It's called Yoku's Island Express. It's this Metroidvania pinball game. I'm not kidding. With cute animals and some really weird looking animals. Like a cat that's inside a fish whose name is Dolphin. I'm not kidding.
Can confirm.
And I mean, and recently I've been playing Mutant Year Zero Road to Eden, which is a very, very compelling substitute to XCOM. If someone out there likes XCOM. But yeah, my game of the year is The Messenger. Very, 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 very good game.
I thought for sure you were going to say Pony Island.
I love Pony Island. I don't think it came out this year, but I love Pony.
Me neither, man. I don't think it came out this year. If anybody in chat has not played Pony Island, Trevor, you need to play Pony Island.
I have it because Tom told me to get it. I haven't played it yet.
I played it and I didn't. I had too high expectations for it.
Yeah, I need to stop hyping people up to it.
Yeah.
Stop pushing this game on Sully. You don't own me. I have actually, like my real life friends, I've told them that that if they buy that game and they don't like it, I'll give them $5 to cover the game. I have not had to pay anyone for that game.
I need to do that. Because I got another streamer to play it. Now, all the love to him. I don't mean to bash on him. But Uprising Cake played it and he called it pretentious. And I'm like, oh man.
If you have Discord Nitro has started like its own Steam store, which I'm not 100% on board with. However, if you have Discord Nitro, they actually offer some games for free. They have a ton of really good games on there for free. Pony Island is among them. So if you have Discord Nitro and you want to play Pony Island, you can play it for free. And I would definitely recommend people looking at the Discord store and the Nitro games for free.
I didn't know we had ads in the podcast.
I'm hashtag sponsored by Discord. Look, dude, I just want one of the hoodie.
Yeah, man, I want the fucking hoodie. Discord, hook us up, please.
I know you're one of the 19 people watching Discord. Give me a freaking
you fucking hoodie now.
There's just for reals. There's just a ton of really good games that are offered for free if you have Nitro, and it's like $50 a year, I think, and I think it's worth it.
Does anyone want to say a game that they're looking forward to next year? Like one game apiece?
Let's switch the thing. Our hopes for 2019. What do you guys want? What do you want from next year?
I'll start. I'm really hoping a lot of updates to Escape from Tarkov. I've really played that game a lot. It's frustrating and it gives me headache and nightmares, but I still play it because I don't know why. but it's a really good game. I really enjoyed it. It's a little bit different kind of shooter. I hope to see it thrive in the future. And also, I hope to see, I'm gonna see the Final Fantasy XIV new DLC coming in next year. I'm looking forward to that.
All right, I'll go. Mainly looking forward to Borderlands 3 coming out. I played the shit out of Borderlands 2 and some of the free sequel, but mainly Borderlands 2. They just announced the 4 genres of people, which include like a soldier, beastmaster, siren, and one more. I can't remember. But looking forward to that. Put many more hours into it, and then I'm also looking forward to the Cthulhu game, The Sinking City.
Sinking City, yeah.
Because I just like the Cthulhu mythos and stuff like that, and it looks pretty awesome. So.
And Sinking City has an actual release date of March something, while Borderlands 3 is getting dicked around by Randy Pitchford.
Yeah, I've heard rumors, or I've seen rumors that it's early 2019. They're going to announce it, and then I've also seen it. Yeah, I've seen an interview where he said,
"If you listen closely, you can hear Randy Pitchford knocking one out right now, right now.
Yeah,
you can hear it."
He did say in an interview, like when he announces it, Borderlands 3, they're going to release it like really soon. Like he wants the game to be done when he announces it.
That's fantastic. I didn't even realize that Borderlands 3 was a thing but now I'm excited for it.
Don't be. You will be let down.
Yeah. Yeah, people thought it was going to be shown at the Game Awards.
Yeah, because fucking Randy Pitchford fucking hyped it up on Twitter before the fucking Game Awards, and he didn't fucking show the game.
They did show it. They just accidentally labeled it Rage 2.
Oh yeah. That's the thing that happened. Yeah,
they just put the wrong label on.
What about you guys?
Yeah, what about you, Joe?
I'm a weeb, so I'm really really looking forward to Kingdom Hearts. I've been waiting 13 years between Kingdom Hearts 2 and Kingdom Hearts 3, and I could foam at the mouth. I'm so ready for Kingdom Hearts 3. Like the first 2 games are 2 of my favorite games of all. They're just super nostalgic for me. And I'm super, super looking forward to Kingdom Hearts 3. One that I'm looking forward to trying, although I'm sure it'll be the cause of many swear sessions, is Sekiro. I'm ready for a new From Software game, but I have a feeling that it's kind of like how at the time Bloodborne was like a whole other level of difficult, even compared to DS 1 and 2. I think Sekiro is going to be the same thing. I think it's just going to kick it up a notch and be a whole other level of painstaking frustration, which I'm looking forward to every second of it.
Yeah, definitely like different compared to Bloodborne and Dark Souls.
Yeah, the only thing, and I won't get too into it. The only thing I'm not looking forward to is that it follows a specific person. I kind of liked the idea of you just being some random dude who may or may not be the chosen one. But this is like one specific. It is a very specific person's story. But I'm sure it'll still be a fine game.
Yeah, probably. I hope, the unrealistic hope is that I get to play Atomic Heart next year. If you guys don't know what Atomic Heart is, I don't blame you. It is it's a first person, like really weird looking kind of first person kind of horror-esque game with like a weird kind of setting. There's very little information about it except like 2 trailers that are one in Russian and one in English. Other like games, I want to play Outer Worlds, of course, and they state that it's coming out next year. I kind of expect them to delay it until 2020, but we'll see. Definitely gonna play Metro Exodus when it comes out fucking day 1, and Rage 2 day 1. Both of those games are very high on my list. And hopefully we see an announcement for PS5.
Yeah. PS5 announcement wouldn't be bad.
I'm calling it. December something on PlayStation Experience. That Sony guy who's on all the E3s, I forget his name. He's gonna stroll up on there on the stage and be like, "What's up, bitches? I know what you want."
It's time for a Christmas present.
Then he pulls one out of his ass and be like, "Look at it." Yes, even chat thinks PS5 is next year. See, definitely announced next year.
Definitely.
I think Soldier Game 2 is coming out next year.
Oh, Soldier handheld number 2. Now with 10,000 games.
I think they're not even gonna like make a console. They're just gonna sell a TV that has the PS Cloud system in it. That would be
the cloud technology has been talked about for a couple of years now, and that the technology is there. You could do cloud gaming. Yeah. The problem is latency and people having shitty internet. That's literally the only reason why they don't do it, because it would limit so many people around the world. But the technology exists.
5G? Yeah, we have 5G soon. Shouldn't that make it possible?
If they can cover 5G around the world, I mean, maybe. But I remember like reading an article about that the next console generation will not have cloud game, but it might come into the next one from that.
Yeah, all right. I don't know about all that. Cloud gaming is like someone else just in the thing. Some of us like holding discs.
Yeah, I mean, some people do like hold discs. I haven't bought a disc since 2011. That's when I bought Skyrim. It was the last. Oh, Skyrim, you lovable monster child.
I have the PS4 Castlevania collection that I just bought last week, floating around here somewhere.
Oh shit!
Yeah, like the physical copy. I'm still all about discs.
Do you guys want to do some shout outs before we stop?
Sure.
Shout outs. Yeah, you guys tell who you are and where people can find you and why people should follow your channels. Somebody go first.
Why not? Oh, sick! An actual shout out. Nice.
Nice.
I'm a Gratagy, and like I said at the beginning of the stream, I play a lot of art. Occasionally I'll get burnt out and play something else, but most of the time I just play Final Fantasy. I'm playing through all of them. So if you want to see me stumble through Final Fantasy 9, 10, 12, and 13, unfortunately, and 15 as well, then just follow me at that link there. And I usually stream. I try to stream during the week, not on the weekends, just because I like my me time. So if that sounds like something you'd like, then definitely come on over and hang out.
All right, next one.
I'll go. I'm Trevor the Miracle. You can catch me at twitch.tv/Trevor the Miracle. And I have I don't know, my work kind of keeps me from having a set schedule for streaming, so I just stream whenever I can. And I basically stream basically anything that I think I find interesting. I just got done streaming Hollow Knight. Right now, I've just been doing Borderlands 2 just because it's fun. And yeah, come check me out. Follow me. It'd be awesome. I'm also the smallest streamer, I think, in this group.
That is true.
So I need to grow.
Yeah.
Become a big boy.
Yeah, for sure. Give it a follow.
Go follow Trevor. I'm north. You can see the link. I think it comes there. Somewhere there.
Yes, I posted it. I posted it.
Yeah, you can find me there. And I stream kind of at weird times. And that is whenever I feel like it. So that's why you gotta join our Discord or go follow us at Twitter so you know when I'm going live. Because I might be just wake up one day at 6 p.m. and be like, I'm gonna stream today. And that's it, basically. Next thing I'm gonna play probably will be Portal 1 and 2 in that order, like I said earlier. But I try to find games that I find interesting and like worthy of streaming, not something endless grinding like Final Fantasy 14. But yeah.
And my name is Tomolo. This is my channel you're in right now, so I don't need a shout out for myself. You can click the handy buttons up on the thing. If you like this face and this voice and whatnot. I'm a variety streamer, but like Trevor, I kinda stream when I can't stream because of my work. It prohibits me to have a schedule. And I play variety games. I play everything from AAA games to small indie games. And I recently started PS4 streaming because I like the PS4. They're way better than Xbox. Sue me. Fight me on it. And,
I don't think anybody would disagree with that.
Yeah, probably not.
Can anyone name a Microsoft exclusive?
Like there isn't one.
On the Xbox.
There isn't one. Everything's on PC and Xbox. So there isn't. Literally isn't. But everybody. 3 hours, 24 minutes, 30 seconds is the clock right now on this stream. I want to thank everybody for watching. I've seen the view count, and I've seen the people in chat. You guys are fucking amazing. This went
Give yourself
way better.
a clap.
Yeah, a little golf clap for everybody.
Thank you for coming. It's the first one.
This is the first episode of the Pantsless Podcast, and in my mind, I gotta say it right now. This was a goddamn success.
Great success.
I would agree.
Because of these guys that are below me and beside me and right there. we're gonna like I'm calling it right now. This is not the last episode of the Pantsless Podcast. Now, because this podcast is long and everybody has not been here from the start, this episode will be uploaded to YouTube. I have been recording this, and hopefully Trevor has been recording this too. We'll set up a YouTube channel and push this shit right there. And yeah. Thanks everybody for watching. Everybody's awesome. Like the Lego movie, yes, we're saying. Yeah, just like the Lego movie.
Part of a team. We don't wear any pants.
There you go, KO. Now you got got your own emote there. So I will end the stream here. And check Twitter when the next podcast will be, I guess. Because we don't have a schedule, because we're bad people and can't have schedules.
Fact.
Inconsistent people.
Inconsistent is the right word. See ya, guys.
Thanks for watching.